It's time to tee it up and kick it off. It's time for the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Presented by Hatch Toyota. Sports Zone Radio brings you unmatched coverage of football from around the White Mountains and beyond. No one does it like Sports Zone Radio. And now you can live stream HD video of our broadcast coverage exclusively at sportszone123.com and on the Sports Zone Radio mobile app. All part of the Hatch Toyota Friday Night Football Show. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Chaz Hatch refuses to lose a deal over $1. Hard-hitting broadcast coverage of White Mountains football is up next. Now, let's take you out to the field and join our broadcast team for tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week.
Great job by a couple of young ladies here from Round Valley High School on the national anthem as we bring you into tonight's special Saturday edition of the Hatch Toyota Friday Night Football Show and our Sports Zone Game of the Week broadcast. Yeah, it's Saturday night here as we close out the month of September, and we get a game indoors, don't you know? Game right here at the Round Valley Dome. Welcome, everybody. I'm Floyd Simmons, my broadcast partner. Joining me tonight on this one is Trey Schneider, and tonight it's a battle extraordinaire in the 3A Mountain region. And two teams that will undoubtedly try and lay claim to the title this year in the region. Two of four outstanding teams, and still for my money, even with Round Valley having one loss on their region record, that one coming to Blue Ridge just last week, I think any one of the top four teams in this region capable of winning the region title. The captains are going to get out to midfield and get together and talk it over. By the way, that number 78 right there, check out that big fellow there for Round Valley. That is Brendan Brown, and I got to see a demonstration of his athleticism before the game tonight during warm-ups. I saw him skipping off the field, that big fellow right there, skipping off the field, and he is incredibly wiry, athletic, and that's the kind of guy that helps your offensive line get that much better, defense as well. So anyway, Brendan there, part of the group of captains out there that are going to see their team get the ball first. Payson has deferred to the second half, and it looks like Round Valley is going to be on offense to get this thing started here when we get going here in just a moment. So it's the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota right here at the Tot Workman Dome. I'm Floyd Simmons, and Trey Schneider, welcome to the Dome.
Thank you. This is a great atmosphere. It's a lot better than being outside in the cold.
Yeah, I'm wearing my shorts, my golf shirt. You're wearing T-shirts of some sort.
I look like I'm kind of ready for date night, I think, but I don't know what I'm looking like that for.
If your wife accepts that on date night, I need to figure out how she can talk to my wife, and I can get that cleared, okay? All right, but no, welcome in, and what a great game we should see tonight here. The Round Valley Elks have that much more incentive. They want to win a region title. It's still within their grasp, but after that setback at Blue Ridge, you know the Elks they got to get off on a good foot. That Payson team on the other side has tons of respect. They're undefeated, and now they get their first major test of the season.
Yeah, looking at this team, you know, they're coming into this game undefeated, Payson is. And as you mentioned, just last week, Round Valley dropped one to Blue Ridge. But this Round Valley team has a lot of weapons. They are very fast. They are a very athletic team, and they tend to make really good play calls across the course of a game. And so we're going to get a chance tonight to see if Payson really is all that they're cracked up to be with an undefeated record, and see how they can react to a good team.
Yeah, definitely going to find that out. And a lot's going to rest on the capable right arm of Nolan Keeney, the senior quarterback. He wears jersey number 8. We'll see him. And I was mistaken. It was Payson getting the I thought they won the toss, but they're going to get the football first. Somebody deferred, and that deference must have been the Round Valley Elks. Here's the ball fielded near the 10-yard line, and a big hit after the return man, and that was Marco Jaricki. He got stood up and then pummeled at about the 25-yard line, so an early statement hit on special teams by Round Valley. There's the head coach, Brad Baca. He'll lead his team out here tonight, and we'll get to see that defense for the first time against this Payson Longhorn offense. Again, Payson undefeated 5-0, and the Round Valley Elks check into this one with a 4-1 overall record, smarting from that region loss to the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets last time out. That one happening at Palmoro Stadium. 3-man front for the Round Valley defense, and a tight formation with 2-man split left for Payson, and they're going to throw a quick pass that, if it stands, results in a 6-yard gain to the receiver, Jaricki. But immediately the umpire threw his flag, and I think he's got a hold on the Payson offense, and that'll be their first infraction of the night.
Tough way to start a game. You get a 6-yard completion, and it's called back on a hold. But that was definitely the right call. It looked like the nose tackle was getting in there and had a chance to make a play on that pass, and was held back.
So Nolan Keeney is that quarterback for Payson. Talked about him just a moment ago, and his guys will look at a 1st and 20 now. After that short reception was wiped off the boards. Keeney winds up and throws it to one of his guys out of the backfield, and they're going to get 6 yards back with the catch. Round Valley able to corral the receiver for a very short gain. It's going to be hard to read those numbers. We talked about this with the athletic director for Payson a moment ago. Well, let me get you more on that. But Nathan Sosi catches that pass. It's a 6-yard gain on what is the first official play from scrimmage for Payson. And now they're going to get first down yardage around the right side, and that one could have gone a long way for Payson. It ends up going for 20 yards, exactly 20, out to the 45-yard line. And there's Sosi again with the ball in hand, and he got some great blocking from that big, beefy front line for the Payson Longhorns.
Payson doing a great job. They got 2 guys coming around the outside, and was it Sosi, right?
Correct.
Nathan Sosi. Great run there, following his blocker, staying patient, and busted off a 20-yard run.
So the ball is out to the 45-yard line, as mentioned, and Keeney will line up his guys. They shift, fake it to Sosi, swing it out left side, and great defense. Actually, a loss of a yard. Payson is going to be a little jawing back and forth between teammates on a missed blocking assignment on the edge, trying to throw that screen out there, and the ball brought in by Jaricki. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly for the Payson fans. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Kason Finch not fooled at all by the screen. He recognized they were trying to get it quickly out there to their left, and he came up and laid a big hit there on the receiver.
Whistles and another marker is down, and the way Round Valley fans are responding, you know it's against Payson offense, so they'll mark 5 yards off on the infraction and make it 2nd down. And an even 16 to go for the Longhorn offense.
Penalties being a major factor so far here for Payson. That's 2 on this drive. Having a false start like that, you can't have that on your first drive. You want to come out and make a statement.
Sosi in motion to the right. They'll throw over the middle. It's broken up and nearly taken away. That was good defense stepping across. And Lane Hill, who's been dinged up, he's out there patrolling the middle of that Round Valley defense, and he's able to get hands on it. Incomplete, 3rd down and 16.
Nolan Keeney on the first swing to the right that they completed that was called back on a hold, he did a great job of holding the safety and linebackers in place on that swing, but on that one, he stared down that slant the whole way, and the defense just followed his eyes, and it led him right to that play.
So early gut check time for the Longhorn offense. Double slots, and now they'll run a man in motion left to right. Swing it out that direction. Sosi trying to pick up as much as he can on this one, and he'll get 5 out of it. 5 yards, make it 4. 4 yards, the gain on the play. Comes out to the 43-yard line. It's 4th down and 12, and it looks like Payson is going to have to surrender the football early on in this game.
It appears that Payson really likes that quick swing pass. It looks like they want to get the ball out quick, and they're not afraid to throw it, which is good. You like to see that at the high school level.
So they come out in a regular offensive set, and now the quarterback, Keeney, is going to back up, and they're going to run a quick kick here on 4th down, and it's a beauty. That spiral turns over, checks up at the 11-yard line, and it'll be down somewhere around the 12-yard line. That was a terrific punt. Coach Burke, Brian Burke, the head coach of Payson, is going to give his guy, Keeney, some love with that kick on the sideline. And that's where Round Valley is going to get the ball for the first time on their night here. Offensively, they'll bring it out. And we'll be looking at that quarterback of theirs that is one of the best athletes you'll find at the position. Cage Finch will lead him out here. Cage, the junior quarterback for Round Valley.
Cage is such a dangerous quarterback. He's one of those guys that he makes great decisions throwing the ball, but he's almost just as dangerous throwing the ball as he is running the ball, if not more so. And Payson's going to have to account for him if they want to make some stops on defense.
So they actually give a generous spot to Round Valley to the 13-yard line, 1 yard difference. Here's the give, straight up the middle, and it's Brody Crick time, and Brody is denied. Looks like he is just about out to the 15-yard line. They'll mark the nose of the football shy there and give Brody on the play a gain of, we'll call it 2 yards on the first time he gets to touch it tonight.
2 yards is a good gain. It looked like Payson was all over that inside handoff, and they all swarmed down in on him. And if you're Round Valley, you're okay with a 2 yard gain here, but you want to get some more blocking there up the middle to try to create 3, 4, 5 yard gains.
Jackson Crick checks into the lineup, and he'll flank the quarterback in the backfield. He's just a freshman, Jackson is. Quarterback, as mentioned, the junior. And he's going to hand it off, and it's a wide open running lane in the middle. And a run out to the 28-yard line. That was well executed. Great blocking up front for Jackson Crick, and a nice gain for the first down.
He does not move like a freshman. That was such a solid run. If you look here, great job blocking up front. They got some good pulling on the backside, and Jackson running hard like he's been here before.
Mark that down as a gain of 14 yards. And it's 1st and 10. The ball, nose of the ball, approaching the 29-yard line. So Round Valley, new set of downs. Crick again left side, and he was not hit by that Payson defense still. He got 6, 7 yards maybe into that second level, and then he ends up going down at the 40 for a gain of 11. Back-to-back beautiful runs by Jackson Crick.
This Payson defense, if they want a chance to get their offense back on the field and have a chance to score before Round Valley does, they're going to need to toughen up that interior with their interior linemen and their linebackers, because right now it is, about as soft as a freshly baked donut.
First down play. Here's the toss right side. Brody Crick makes the catch, crosses midfield, and he's got a chunky gain there. Call it 16 this time for Round Valley, with 3 successive big gains for the Elks and a first down in Payson territory.
Those Crick boys are really getting the yardage right now. We had 2 big runs from Jackson, and here's Brody with a 16-yard reception.
So on the 5th offensive play of the opening possession for Round Valley, they'll give it straight up the middle. Jackson Crick. And he refuses to go down without a fight. 5 yards the gain. The 39-yard line, the new spot.
Payson did a good job getting a push there, and Bryson Waterman-Eccles, number 78 on Payson, actually had him right about the line of scrimmage, maybe even a yard behind. But as you mentioned, Jackson Crick just refusing to go down, kept running, and got 5 yards on that.
So the undefeated Payson Longhorns are coming fresh off a 62-0 shutout win over ALA Mesa North. That was 2 weeks ago. Prior to that, they only gave up 6 runs. Preceding that was a shutout. I mean, this defense has been terrific. However, so you look at another 6-yard gain up the middle. However, they are struggling early on here against the Elks. And check it, that was a 1-yard gain. My mistake, 1-yard gain on the last play. I was looking at something, I looked up and I saw what they did with the down marker and where they placed it, and I forgot about the previous 5-yard gain. Here is a pickup right side for a first down by Brody Crick, and Brody is going to be tackled at the 27-yard line. And the Round Valley Elks love what they're seeing. This is another big gain, 11 yards this time, and it's Brody Crick picking up the yardage. So you got Brody, who's a junior, and his freshman brother, who's a little taller, a little bigger. Brothers, right? And these two guys handling the duties, running the football, and looking pretty good at it tonight.
I mean, I want to know what their genetics look like, because right there, that is prime football genetics.
Brody is going to get stretched out right side, and Crick is back to the line of scrimmage. May have even lost a little bit of yardage on the play, at least where they're going to spot him. They spot him to the 29, so officially it looks like a loss of a yard on the play for the Elks junior running back. We go under 5 minutes remaining on the clock in the first quarter. So after Payson took off the first 3 minutes and 8 seconds of this quarter, now Round Valley's been running the football pretty nicely. Payson did not go offside right there. Coaches were asking for it from Round Valley, didn't get it. Cage Finch spun down inside the 25-yard line. Good for, depending on when they spot, 4 yards. 4 yards on the play for Cage.
I think that was a good decision by Cage there to pull in on that option. But to Payson's credit, they did a great job. They had all the avenues covered, and they were able to limit Cage to a 4-yard gain.
And now down to 4 minutes and 24 seconds. I mentioned the clock time for our radio audience. Those listening on Mix 98 KRFM Sholo, the broadcast home of Sports Zone Radio. And our Game of the Week broadcast tonight, handed off left side. Brody Crick bounces outside, cuts it back in, and he decides to dish out some punishment at the end of a 10-yard pickup. Ball inside the 15-yard line. And just look at this Round Valley offense systematically moving the ball against a tough Payson defense.
This is what they were missing last week. They ran a lot of these same plays, but the execution just wasn't there, and it really didn't seem like as much of the heart was there. And as you just mentioned, Brody Crick laying a big hit on that run.
Crick again. And this time he's grabbed somebody. One of those linebackers found a little seam to shoot the gap, and we'll give him credit for a tackle on the play. That is Ethan Gertner. Gertner, a senior, one of, I believe, 19 Payson seniors this year on the team. They are loaded, and he is able to hold that one to gain of just a yard on the play.
Yeah, that seems top-heavy, 19 seniors.
I believe that was the count, if I got it right. Fake the handoff. Finch in trouble. Able to get rid of it, and he threw it into some traffic, and he's fortunate that nothing bad occurred, nothing bad took place. It's incomplete in the corner. Stops the clock with 3:03 on the clock here in the first period. The Sports Zone Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Take a look at it. The ball kind of come right into your living room screen there just about, and incomplete.
Bryson Waterman-Eccles, for a big guy, he had some wheels on him chasing down Cage Finch.
Third down play. Finch throwing it up to Crick. Double coverage out there. And boy, that was off of, I think that was off Brody's hands. If indeed it was, and we'll look at the replay here in a second, that would be an unbelievable throw by Finch in a moment when I thought that was a huge mistake to throw that football into double coverage.
I don't think the throw was the best throw, or the best decision. But like as you said, that was a perfectly thrown ball. As a quarterback, you don't throw them any better than that.
We've seen Brody make some great catches, but this time unable to haul it in, and it is going to be a 31-yard field goal try for Round Valley, and that is way left.
They called it good.
Hold on, what did I see? Okay, pardon me on that. I saw the pipes of from our angle, the pipes of the soccer goal had me confused. I thought it was way left, but the ball sneaks in there and the kick is up and good. Round Valley has the first points of the game, a 31-yard field goal. We'll grab a timeout with 2:55 on the clock in the first quarter. Stand by, everybody. The Sports Zone Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota, continues after this.
It's deal or better deal. Only at Hatch Toyota in Show Low. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then play deal or better deal. We've got 15 briefcases loaded with bonus discounts from $300 to a whopping $3,000. Pick your case, open it up, boom, $800 in additional savings. Now here's the twist. Keep it or risk it and go for a better deal. You can keep going until you say deal or drop below your last pick. Financing starting at 0% for 72 months and payment starting at just $189 a month at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
At the Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort.
Well, those who saw the picture on your screen there in the little picture-in-picture moment saw the Payson return man vault himself in the air and right into the waiting arms of the coverage man. That on the tackle was Payson Beto on the return by Marco Jaricki. And now a 1st and 10 for Payson. And they'll set up at their own 32-yard line for their second possession of the game. Handed off, right side, and a good strong run to gain the first down. And how about 16 yards on this carry? And I believe that was Sosi once again carrying the football.
Great run there from Sosi running the ball. Number 68, Danny Rodriguez might have gotten away with a little bit of a hold there on that far side. He was one of the pulling linemen and just got a little too excited with his hands up top.
2:25 remaining in the first quarter. Payson sends 2 receivers out to the left. They're going to hand it. And that is going to get plugged up quickly. In fact, a 3-yard loss on the play as Round Valley just overwhelmed the Payson front line. Carrying the football for the Payson Longhorns for the first time today, Johnny McInerney, who earned the nickname last year, Johnny Football, with a terrific game that he played against the Show Low Cougars. Now, there is an injured player. Seeing that on the field.
Yeah, I believe that's Sebastian McKinnon there with the injury.
So they're going to take a look at that young man for a moment here. 2:03 on the clock in the first quarter. A 3-0 lead for the Round Valley Elks. So while they look over the player, the teams take a knee. We will take you through the standings. See that the Payson Longhorns are 5-0 on the season. They do have a 2-0 region record. So officially in first place in the 3A Mountain region. That 2-0 record, it does even them as well with the Show Low Cougars, who have defeated the same 2 football teams. Show Low has defeated both ALA Mesa North and Apache Junction. So if you were to look at those common opponents, Show Low beat ALA by a count of 62-6, and then last night Show Low beat Apache Junction 57-0. Payson able to get their player to his feet, and Sebastian McKinnon is going to get some assistance to get off the field right now. Let's hope that he is okay. Meanwhile, Payson playing those same two Mountain Region opponents. What Payson did in those games, it beat ALA Mesa North by a similar score to Sholos. It was 62-0. And somewhat similar score in the Apache Junction victory for Payson as well. 57-6 was that final score. You know, last night, Sholo and their win over Apache Junction, they really could have put up as much as they would want to. They didn't play too many of their starters, especially on offense in the second half. So, you know, they not only took their foot off the pedal, they kind of put it in park.
They really did.
Last night.
They had a couple of runners that would break through, and they would have been easy touchdowns, and they stopped short of the goal line to allow Sholo to take some more time off.
Like Frank Costanza, I stopped short. 1:43 remaining in the first quarter. 3-0 Round Valley on top. And that is going to be a sliding catch made for a gain of what looks like 7 yards on the play. And so Payson, with Nolan Keeney engineering the offense, pick up a chunk of that yardage necessary. On the receiving end was Bert Shear, number 5.
If that ball comes out a second earlier, Bert Shear might have a chance to run that up the field. That throw was a little behind him, but he was open from the moment he took off from the line of scrimmage, and he could be in the end zone.
Keeney back to throw, and he is overwhelmed by the Round Valley defense. He'll be sacked, lose 3 yards on the play. So early on in this game, it's Round Valley setting the tone both on offense and defense.
Great sack there from Jackson Crick and Tanner Finch teaming up to spin the quarterback down in the backfield.
It's 4th and 10. Keeney is lined up in his normal set in the shotgun. Surveying the field. And now he is going to back into a longer set to punt the football. And this is a line drive that is going to bounce high in the air. Picked up at the 15-yard line by Brody Crick. He'll escape that would-be tackler. He's got room to the edge, and he'll step out where Payson snapped the ball, or near where they snapped it. He'll get marked at the 50-yard line. Good return by Brody Crick, who decided his angle was cut off. I'll just live to play another down, but a great return, and Round Valley is in business again.
As you mentioned, this was a very good decision. I think he was cut off and just stepped out so that he could come back out on offense, and he'll be getting the ball again here soon, I would imagine.
We'll see if he gets it on this probable final play of the first quarter. We've got 7 seconds remaining in the first period. Round Valley with their second possession now. They had that long, methodical scoring drive that produced a field goal just a moment ago, and here's a pass down the right sideline that is not the final play of the quarter because it's incomplete. As Round Valley tried to go for the big bomb there, Brenton Walker, the intended receiver, it is incomplete. 2 seconds.
Not a bad decision there from Cage Finch. Throw one out quick and just see if you can get one of those safeties sleeping on the edge, and it didn't happen there, but not a terrible decision.
See there, it looks like it was the center, Sebastian McKinnon, that was injured earlier. And there is a new center, presumably, to take over for Payson here in a little bit. He's getting some practice. Here's a diving catch. No, it's incomplete. On the final play of the first quarter, more on the situation on the offensive line for Payson when they take over the football in just a little bit. Round Valley will have it to start the second quarter. Stand by, 3-0 Round Valley in front. The Sports Zone Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota.
The all-new 2025 Toyota Tacoma is here at Hatch Toyota, and it's tougher, smarter, and bolder than ever. It's built to handle Arizona's wildest terrain. Drive one home for as low as $269 a month. Plus, it's deal or better deal. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then take your shot at bonus savings with 15 mystery briefcases. Each holds a hidden discount from $300 to $3,000. Only at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
It started with a dream, simple, honest, and rooted in the White Mountains of Arizona. That dream shaped legends, and those legends built Perkins Cinders. Through decades of ethic and hard work, the business became more than a name. Perkins Cinders, built by legends, driven by purpose.
Start the second quarter here on the Sports Zone Game of the Week broadcast, presented by Hatch Toyota. Cage Finch rolling, firing. Pass is caught. And that's good for a 13-yard pickup and a first down for the Round Valley Elks.
Great job there. Brenton Walker getting his feet right up to the sideline, making that catch, and then keeping possession of it as he was hit out of bounds.
Round Valley will set the offense here and get another fresh set of downs. Jackson Crick in the backfield. Give it to him. And he gets tossed around a bit by Johnny McInerney, the linebacker, getting there to make the stop. Just a 1-yard gain this time, and that has to be considered a fine defensive play by Payson, who have struggled to stop that running game.
Yeah, great job there from Johnny coming across. And that was a statement tackle right there. He let Jackson hear it a little bit right here as he came back up.
He did, and did you notice he was scraping down the line?
Yes.
That's what linebackers do. Mm-hmm. They scrape. Now, I don't know what that means, really, but I heard it. I don't know how many times I've heard coaches say it in the old days. I don't know if they use that anymore, scraping.
At least when I was still in high school, they were, because that's what I heard the defensive coaches telling the linebackers to scrape and scrape. And as a quarterback, I just stood there and I said, yeah, keep scraping,
you guys do your scraping. I'm going to do other stuff.
I'm going to stand here in my pretty jersey and look good in case someone comes by.
Exactly. Round Valley spends a timeout. They will give away their first timeout here in the first half. We've got 11 minutes and 8 seconds here in the second quarter. And at halftime, it'll be the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report.
I was a little behind. I was a little distracted right there.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, so at halftime, it's the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report. Yeah. You'll get that. You'll get it. I just got to be careful what I say to you. Because, I could say, this is the Round Valley Elks and
Tint.
See, you know,
right.
what I'm saying?
That's why you want to be careful.
Yeah, but really what it is, it's the Round Valley Elks and Payson.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Playing a football game.
Be weird if they're playing the Tint.
It's weird how your brain, triggers in that way,
Yeah.
You just know you have to say something. You feel it anyway. Brody Crick in motion across the formation and throw deep left side to the solo receiver. Man coverage, and the pass is just out of the reach of the receiver. That's Brenton Walker. They were targeting around that left side as Round Valley tries to take a shot at the big bucks right there.
Yeah, good throw there. Just a little outside the hands of Brenton Walker. He also had Brody Crick on a speed out on the right side that I would have liked to see him check down to, because he would have had a lot of yardage to run after the fact.
Have a close look at it. The super slow-mo, and a great shot by our production team, Derek Simmons, our producer, and the camera guy, our technical director, Noah Anderson. And we will flash there, right there, to the look provided by Big Sean Ulbestad. Here comes Finch, rolling to the right. And he threw that right into the breadbasket of the defender, I think.
Yep.
Hey, boy, I tell you, Payson's going to be kicking themselves not coming up with that one. It looked like it was right on the numbers for Preston Moore, the guy in coverage, but he couldn't hold on.
Yeah, we look here, and it looked like they were trying to get back in to make that catch, but there were 3 Payson defenders there. If you're Cage Finch, you've got to see that and either just throw it away or try to make something happen with your feet.
So back-to-back incompletions. 4th down and 9 now. The ball at the 37-yard line of Payson. Man coverage on Brenton Walker left of the formation, and the quarterback, Finch, looking that direction, now flushed and wrapped up, and a quarterback sack. Payson making a play, and now they're starting to come to life a little bit. The guy that gets credit is Landon Parton, a senior, able to get there for the loss on the 4th down and a turnover on downs.
That's the kind of play you want to see if you're Payson. Those are the kind of plays that are going to still momentum as you come into this dome. It's hostile territory if you're Payson, and he was able to fly through the back there and bring the quarterback down for a sack, and that Payson sideline, you can see they're starting to get animated over there.
Payson needed something, didn't they? They needed something to lift them, and maybe that stop on defense with the quarterback sack finishing things up, maybe that does it for them. They've got the ball at their own 41-yard line. And a give. Nathan Sosi carrying the football, and Nathan might have the first down. He is just across midfield. They need to get to the Round Valley 49-yard line, and it's going to be an eyeball situation. Nope, forget about it. The umpire threw his flag, and it looks like a hold, and 10 yards the other direction. Well, for a moment there, it looked pretty good for Payson. Looked like they were going to build on that defensive momentum. They'll have to start it all over again and look at first down at 20.
Holding penalties, or really just any penalty of any kind, those are such killers, especially when you get that sack and then you have that big breakout play. You hate to see it.
Motion in front of Keeney, and now swing it out left side. Nathan Sosi, who's going to get most of the attention offensively and get a little attention from that defense as well after a 4-yard pickup on the swing pass. And Payson sets for a 2nd and 16 now.
Great job there from Nolan Keeney. That snap was just rolled to him and did a great job picking it up, not under control, and was able to swing that ball to his left. And they were able to get something out of what was looking like a broken play right off the bat.
Down to 9:51 left here in the second quarter. Twins split out right for Payson. They're just trying to spread that defense and give the ball to Nathan Sosi. Sosi, a gain of 4 yards to pick up, but that's going to leave 3rd and very long for the Longhorns.
Something that's been pretty interesting to me is Payson has not really run the ball at all up the middle. It's all been sweeps and outside throws. It makes you wonder if they're seeing something in film, because last week that's what got Blue Ridge the win, is that quick handoff right up the middle. Round Valley couldn't really stop it, and so you would think that they would try to at least exploit that a little bit.
Well, let's see what they can do on 3rd down and 12. Keeney will roll to his right. There's a lot of field in front of him, and he throws out of reach for a wide open receiver. Would have had easily that first down, but he just could not put it on Bert Shearer. Bert found a spot along the sideline in between that zone. He was wide open, but Payson could not connect.
This one's entirely on Keeney. You have to put that ball right on him. And maybe he thought he was going to be getting up the field, but he, like you said, he found a window and was just sitting there, and there was no one within 7 yards of him. And if you're the quarterback, you have to realize they're probably playing zone and that he's going to have to find a pocket and sit in it, and he's not looking to break up field till he gets the ball.
Keeney set to punt the ball away, and he is going to punt in the direction of Brody Crick. That one hits at the 21 and then takes a fantastic bounce for the Longhorns. It'll be down to about the 12-yard line. And it's Round Valley's football again here with 8:49 on the clock in the second quarter. The Elks in front 3-0.
Big defensive battle here. Both defenses doing a great job of forcing 3-and-outs. Or not necessarily 3-and-outs, but forcing the other team to punt the ball away. It's just been a game of field position all game long.
So the actual spot of the football is now the 13-yard line. Round Valley's got that long field in front of them. And they've come out playing hard, playing tough. Now Round Valley's trying to get some guys back off the injured list. And they have played a lot of this first half of the season with some natural studs not available to them. Jeffrey Cochran, number 42, might play some offense tonight. Trying to get him back from some ribs. And I'm not talking about like the baby back kind, slathered with some delicious barbecue sauce. As you watch the freshman, Jackson Crick, carry the football for a 1-yard gain. Trying to get him back and healthy and playing, and so he might see some action tonight. And I think Trenton Trickey has gotten on the field, and he's dealing with a hamstring issue, and it has just been a tough go for him. Those two guys right there, you add them to the defense, and Round Valley's defense goes from, to quote the title of an old book, from good to great. Get those guys back out there. So they're going to try to get them some playing time tonight, but neither one of them should be expected to see very much action. There is a Johnny McInerney hit in the backfield on the running back, Brody Crick, and he was able to slow the momentum enough to get some teammates on the case for a no gain on the play. Ball rests at the 14-yard line for Round Valley.
This Payson defense is really coming to life right now. I think from that sack, they're still feeling energized. They're feeling good about their odds. And Round Valley's got to do something to make them get off of their horse here. They've got to try to shake it up as we see Jeffrey Cochran come into the game here.
Okay, so Jeffrey will line up on the wing left side and try to help give some protection, and then release, and they'll throw for him, and he makes a nice catch, and he's got a big gain, and he's going to carry defenders across the 30-yard line. That's a great way to get back from injury. First play and a big gain, and he does it, taking a ton of punishment from that Payson defense.
As you mentioned, that's a stud right there. That is nothing more than just being a man right here. He gets that ball, he takes some shots, and he just keeps running. You see him right there. He's hauled up by two guys, and he refuses to go down, and he gets an extra 2 yards out of that.
And he produces 19 yards and a Round Valley first down. They're out to the 33 now. Handed off, Brody Crick. Brody, a little stutter, and he carries it toward midfield for another Round Valley first down. He's going to gain 12 on the play. Boy, Round Valley has a bunch of chunky plays, chunky gains in this one against that Payson defense.
Yeah, and ultimately what's going to take you from being a good team to a great team is you got to still have these big chunk plays, but you also got to have the grinded out, the 1 and 2 and 3 yard gains and minimize any loss of down. And on that previous play, I want to call back, Cochran took on two guys on a pull and knocked them both back.
Spin ahead. Brody's got 3 yards on this gain. It'll bring up second down and 7, inching their way closer to midfield. So far in the game, we're halfway through the second quarter. Round Valley with their third possession now. They have 8 plays in the game of 10 yards or more, double figures. 8 different plays.
Which for a first half is fantastic.
Payson has 2 so far. Hand off to Brody Crick. And a single yard gained. For Brody, it'll bring up third down and 6. And Round Valley throwing 49-yard line, and another Payson player is on the turf. And with that, we'll take a timeout here at 5:53 on the clock in the second quarter and hope that young man, he is okay. Stand by. The Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
So that might have just been a case of the cramps. I think it is, and I think the Payson Longhorn player is going to be okay. They're going to stretch him out on the sideline. We bring it back in here in the second quarter of this 3A Mountain Region Showdown. The Round Valley Elks in front of Payson 3-0. Floyd Simmons along with Trey Schneider back in here. And thanks for joining us on the Sports Zone Radio YouTube channel. Thanks also for those listening across the White Mountains on Mix 98. And Cage Finch will try to throw one down the seam. There is a marker down. The field judge throwing his marker from way deep. It's going to be pass interference on on the Longhorns.
That's an interesting call because I don't think that ball is necessarily catchable. Cage Finch's feet were not set. He tried to just pure arm strength that ball down the field, as you'll see here on this replay. You'll see his feet really weren't set. He throws it. There is some contact there. Maybe he might be able to get down to that, but nonetheless, as a defender, you have to know you can't put your hands on a receiver like that as he's breaking down the field.
They step off 15 yards and give Round Valley a first down. The Elks at the Payson 36-yard line. Who can find the end zone first today? Cage Finch throwing short of Brody Crick. Brody gets a lot of attention, doesn't he? He draws a crowd. He had two defenders back there trying to keep track of number 12.
Brody is one of those guys. He can really hurt you in a number of ways. One thing I'm seeing here, Cage Finch seems a little rattled. I don't know if maybe he came into this game a little injured, maybe took a shot last week, but he looks like he wants to get rid of the ball quick, and he's almost doing it without really looking down the field and seeing what's there. He's feeling that pressure, and he's just getting rid of it, and you can kind of tell by how his balls aren't as accurate as they typically are, as we're accustomed to seeing from Cage Finch.
Cage and company looking at 2nd and 10. Brody Crick is going to get a bunch of that. In fact, he'll get the first down. Gain of 11 on the play. They'll mark him at the 25-yard line, and they walled off that right side. He came off the edge running with a lot of steam because there was just no defender out there.
They go to the short side, and it makes it a lot easier to wall off that right side, as you mentioned. Less field to work with it. You don't have to send your linemen as far. And those linemen and those other lead blockers got through and made a fantastic lane for Brody Crick to get that first down.
Move the chains again. And another gain by the Round Valley offense that is a double figures pickup on the play. Fake it, Finch, and he is going to get nothing out of this one. A couple of those guys right in the middle of that defense were up to the task for the Payson Longhorns. They got Nolan Keeney on the play, and I believe also there.
I think Braden Lee was the other one.
Braden
Lee. And great job from Payson there on this play call. I think that Cage Finch made the right call, pulling that ball to take it up the middle, but Payson did a great job of they took away every option and every avenue.
Second down play, the 25-yard line. And it's Brody. Payson's starting to figure it out a little bit from time to time at any rate, and a 2-yard gain this time. It'll bring a 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, Payson brought pressure right there. They brought, I want to say it was 8 guys. It may have just been 7, but they brought more to the point of attack than Round Valley did, and that's where you see those very short gains. So if you're Cage Finch, if you're the Round Valley coaches, they've been bringing a lot of pressure. Maybe look to try to hit something behind where those guys are coming from and make them think twice about sending as much pressure.
3rd down and 8. Crick in the backfield with Finch, and this pass intended for Brenton Walker is incomplete. Threw into a little bit of traffic right there. Payson able to break it up. It brings up 4th down and 8. And listen now, okay, if you're a superstitious person, the operative number right now for Round Valley is 13, lucky number 13. Mm-hmm. Okay, the scoring drive that produced the field goal early in the game started at the 13-yard line, including the field goal try, which was good. They ran 13 plays on that possession. And this drive, which might result in a field goal, started at the 13-yard line. Tell me that's not a little...
Well, I went to their a
little creepy, right?
Very much so. I went to go look at their roster to see who number 13 was, thinking maybe we need to get him on the field.
Get him on the field.
But they don't have a number 13. They go straight from 12 to 14.
Well, that would just be too freaky, especially if it was the kicker wearing number 13. All right, the kicker out there for Round Valley is Amador Garcia. And he is the guy that put the 3 on the board earlier in the game. We'll see if he gets another chance. Oh, yeah, timeout was taken down there, everybody. 3-0 the score. The Elks leading the Longhorns in a region showdown. The common opponent points were pretty good. Pretty evenly matched. The game has been that way as well. Empty backfield on the 4th down play, and now it's Payson's turn to spend a timeout. Coming up at halftime, 3.5 minutes away, it's the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tints halftime reports. That's pretty good. Hey, listen, we talk about things like the Friday Night Football Show Hall of Fame, and we've got a couple of new people that have recently been elected. First 2 this year that have been elected to the Hall of Fame, Shad Bride, the great running back from St. John's, and Porter Caldwell, the snowflake quarterback from back in the day. So those are 2 new guys elected and will be inducted at some point into the Friday Night Football Show Hall of Fame, which is presented by Perkins Cinders, our good friends at Perkins Cinders. Now, give me 2 names of guys you played with that you would like to see someday. Maybe you played with them as Snowflake Lobos or against them. Okay. That you think someday should maybe get a nod to the Hall of Fame, okay? And maybe you think about that as we watch this 4th down play. Cage Finch lines him up, empty backfield. He's looking to his left. Comes back, scans the other direction, now throws down the middle of the field, and that is caught for a Round Valley touchdown! J.J. Logan hauls it in, and a big 4th down conversion that puts points on the board.
J.J. Logan, one of the most athletic plays you'll see tonight, broke off his route as the ball was overthrown and fades into the back of the end zone, makes a great catch and holds on to it despite having pressure in his face from the Payson Longhorns.
Kick try by Garcia is up, and it's good. And our score is 10-0. Round Valley has jumped in front of Payson. Watch this 4th down conversion. There was contact. The defender actually might have been called for a pass interference. They held the flag because why throw it when J.J. Logan hauls it in for a touchdown. Stand by, everybody. The Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
When exactness is ordered, Hatch Concrete will deliver. We provide ready-mix concrete for any size job, from the do-it-yourself project to the professional construction project, delivering a variety of aggregate to suit your concrete or construction needs from granite to cinders. Hatch Concrete is not just another ready-mix concrete company. We provide quality service, quality concrete pumping, and Fox blocks where quality is not just a name, but a tradition. At Hatch Concrete, this mud's for you.
The Payson kick return was developing nicely, but they were unable to exploit it for too much. The return by Marco Jaricki. After Round Valley is able to get on the board again on a 9-play scoring drive that took 5 minutes and 30 seconds of time, and you're looking at the touchdown catch right there by J.J. Logan, and I'm going to ask our guys in a moment, will you show me that camera 1 again? Because I have a reason for looking at it, and I didn't get a chance because I had to take care of some business over here on the other end. But look at the catch. Use the helmet, why don't you? Make the catch from the 38-yard line. It's Payson, it's Nathan Sosi, and a single yard gained on the play. That is all they can muster. And this Round Valley crowd and the team, the defense, they are feeling pretty good right now. I still wasn't looking. Okay, I guess I saw what I needed to see. Thank you for that, guys. Thank you. 2nd down and 9. Keeney rolls, steps up, And he is surrounded and taken down. And it's going to be a quarterback sack that loses a yard on the play. And look who got to him. Look at Peyton Tucker, the sophomore who was smallest guy in the county. Football-wise.
Well, he might be the smallest guy in the dome right now. I think.
And he is tough to block, isn't he?
Yeah. But I want to credit the Round Valley secondary right there. Great job up front by those guys to go and get that sack, but everyone was covered downfield, not allowing Keeney a chance to unload that ball.
Coverage sack. 3rd down and 10. Throw it left side. Screen pass. Caught. Sosi. Broken tackles and a 1st down, and he is going to gain on the play 13 yards. 13 the pickup on the play, much needed by the Payson offense. They're able to get into Round Valley territory to the 49.
I think that's a great play call right there. They just got after you on a sack. You think they're probably going to try to come after us again. You take advantage of that aggression and you hit them with a quick screen pass and gets a 1st down there.
We've got 1:40 remaining in the first half. Keeney trying to operate that offense, and he'll complete a pass, collision with the umpire. That's Chance Sneed that gets run into by the receiver. Hauling it in was Marco Jaricki. And then he runs right into that guy right there. By the way, our umpire, Chance Sneed, as you look at a 5-yard pickup on that play, our umpire makes the trip for these games up here with this referee crew all the way from Benson every week. He lives in Benson. It's a 4-hour drive for him to get here, and here he is. Throw down the seam to the wrong guys. J.J. Logan has the interception. Round Valley is going to stifle Payson yet again. And with just under a minute, 59 seconds left in the first half, Round Valley has stopped Payson.
I don't know if he was trying to hit that outside fade or he had a skinny there on the middle, but either way, he threw it too far outside for his inside guy and was way underthrown for his fade. And great job from Round Valley to get that interception, get it back out, and give their offense a chance to really put this game in a position that's really hard for Payson to come back from.
The Elks will have 1 timeout to work with. Brenton Walker and J.J. Logan split left. Jeffrey Cochran is on the field. He is on that wing, the left side formation. They're going to throw to Logan, and Logan is going to make the catch, but immediately knocked down on the play. That's Braddock Flaherty making the play, and a 3-yard gain on the play.
That's a great tackle there from Braddock Flaherty, like you said. He could have also lit up Logan right there and decided to make a good tackle and ensure that he doesn't get anything extra.
From the 30-yard line, Round Valley, clock ticking. Step up, Finch. And he'll head for the sidelines and step out at the 35. 5-yard pickup on that 2nd down play. 3rd down ahead for Round Valley. Time stops with 25 seconds remaining.
3rd down, 2 yards to go, 25 seconds on the clock.
Round Valley has been making the plays. They've done everything they've had to do. That great touchdown catch by Logan on the 4th down, the 24-yard touchdown. Made it 10-0, and then J.J. patrolling deep on defense, picking it off. I say find J.J. and throw to him again.
Looks like he's on the slot on the right side, and he's got a lot of room.
He's got the hot hand. Going to be hard to get it to him now. Flushed. Finch gets rid of, and Jeffrey Cochran takes a big hit after it glances off his hands. Stop the clock. 17 seconds till halftime. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report is on the way.
Glad to see Cochran get up because that's what I've been told is called a hospital ball. He put that ball way up and got just hammered by 2 Payson players. If you're Cage Finch, you got to do a little bit more to protect your receivers by not throwing that ball right there. You know, either throw it away or find a different angle.
And it exposed the area of concern for Jeffrey Cochran, the ribs, the rib cage. That's where he's been trying to recover from those damaged ribs earlier this season. Here's a ball that bounces up into the hands of Jaricki. And he is tracked down at the 34-yard line with 4 seconds remaining in the half. It will be time for maybe a play.
Looks like Brenton Walker a little shook up on the play. He's struggling to make his way to the sideline. And finally gets there. Hopefully, I don't know what would have happened. He didn't seem like he was near the play at all, but hopefully he's doing okay.
The Elks trying to hold on to a 10-0 lead for halftime. Chuck Copeland, the referee, is going to send Jariki out of the game for some equipment. And then Payson will spend a timeout. They've got one more remaining. I don't know if they'll get a chance to use it. If they do run a play here, or when they run a play, they'll have that opportunity to run one. And then we'll make our way down to halftime here. 4 seconds left here. 10-0. Round Valley looking good. And bouncing back strongly. This half of football looking a lot better than we saw them a week ago.
For sure. No, they're doing a great job of keeping drives alive. Seemed like last week there were just too many 3-and-outs.
I mean, they went for it on fourth down a ton of times, didn't they?
Yes.
I mean, they went for it out 4 or 5 times that Blue Ridge was able to stop them each time. Well, Payson must not have been watching the film too closely on that last fourth down.
No.
Because whereas Blue Ridge was always stopping that fourth down, Payson yielded too strong. They gave up the touchdown on that throw to J.J. Logan. Stepping back, Keeney has got a ton of time to throw, and he is going to let one fly downfield. He's got a man behind the defense. Catch made to the 10-yard line on the final play of the half. Well, that was fantastic. 58 yards, a lot of air underneath that thing. But the half ends right there at the 8-yard line for Round Valley. The deepest penetration Payson had all day, but they had no time left. But how about a 58-yard huck downfield? Do you like that?
Oh, I do. My last game in high school against Payson to end the half had a very similar play where we hadn't done too well getting down the field, and we ran a couple play-action plays to make them think we were just trying to run out the half, and I was able to hit JT Tate on a deep fade, and that was just reminiscent of that. I was ready to see him go in and score.
The half ends on that final offensive effort by the Payson Longhorns. And going into halftime, a smooth 10-0 advantage for the Round Valley Elks. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tints halftime report is on the way, everybody. Stand by for it. We'll return to the Tot Workman Dome for all of that. After this, the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
It's deal or better deal. Only at Hatch Toyota in Show. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then play deal or better deal. We've got 15 briefcases loaded with bonus discounts from $300 to a whopping $3,000. Pick your case, open it up, boom, $800 in additional savings. Now here's the twist. Keep it or risk it and go for a better deal. You can keep going until you say deal or drop below your last pick. Financing starting at 0% for 72 months and payment starting at just $189 a month at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
It started with a dream. Simple, honest, and rooted in the White Mountains of Arizona. That dream shaped legends, and those legends built Perkins Cinders. Through decades of ethic and hard work, the business became more than a name. Perkins Cinders, built by legends, driven by purpose.
Beeman Well Drilling is a proud partner of Sports Zone Radio and the Friday Night Football Show, and they give support to each and every school and team in the White Mountains. Just like Sports Zone Radio, Beeman Drilling has the kind of experience that makes them the best at what they do. Paul Wyatt is the guy to talk to, and he'll take your call anytime, day or night, 537-1031. Or better yet, call him right on his cell phone, 928-205-7647. This football season, go deep with Beeman Drilling.
At the Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort. Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Show Low, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
In years past, when you needed expert medical care, you may have overlooked one credible local healthcare provider. White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic is your destination for specialized care, orthopedics, podiatry, behavioral health, and advanced interventional pain management. And it's all closer than you think. Located in Springerville, White Mountain Regional Medical Center is your healthcare partner when choices matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Well, back in for halftime, everybody. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for joining us for our broadcast coverage of the Sports Zone Game of the Week and the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report gets underway now. 10-0 Round Valley in front. I'm Floyd Simmons along with Trey Schneider. Well, Trey, as we look at some highlights from the first half, I first mentioned that Round Valley has 165 yards of offense. Payson has 130 yards of offense. So really not a huge difference there, though I guess you could say 58 yards on the last play of the half. That was inconsequential. They had just thrown the ball up, happened to find a guy downfield. Take that off the board, you're looking at 40 yards of offense. No. Take it back. You're looking at 72 yards roughly of offense for Payson if they don't get that big play. It speaks a lot to this Round Valley defense and the kind of game they're turning in tonight.
Yeah, when you said that they had 130 yards, I was shocked because I'm like, they have not moved the ball like that all day. And then, yeah, that reminder of that big play to end the half. But Round Valley has done a fantastic job of limiting this offense and, in turn, not allowing Payson's defense to limit them, as we've seen with the score here of 10-0. If I'm Round Valley, I'm happy with the big chunk plays. We touched on that in the first half. They've had a number of plays over 10 yards, which is great. But they're going to have to find ways going forward, not just in this game, but as their progression towards a playoff run come closer, they're going to need to find a way to be able to just get 2-3 yards and allow that to still be a difference maker for them, because you can't just expect to live on chunk plays. And if I'm Payson, your defense has done very well, considering that the score is just 10-0. As a defense, obviously you want to see a shutout, but 10-0 is not a bad place to be in if you're a defense. So you got to look to your offense and what's not working. I wouldn't say that there's not a whole lot that hasn't worked for them. They're just using the same things. They're hitting the quick outs. They're hitting quick slants, which is good, but they're not testing that middle of the defense at all. And as we saw last week, that was an area of concern for Round Valley as they gave up a lot of yards through the middle. And you would think that Payson would have that film and that they would be wanting to try to exploit that, but they haven't tried that at all.
Yeah, good point. The game well within reach for the Payson Longhorns, but 10-0 is certainly something that's going to concern them right now. Mostly, I would say, concern should be with the offense. They really haven't threatened. They got that last completion to the 8-yard line, or just about that, inside the 10. Had no time left to do anything with it after that. But otherwise, every possession has resulted in either a punt or the one interception. that came from near midfield. So they just haven't had the great penetration, haven't been able to sustain a drive and get within striking range against a tough Round Valley Elk defense on this one tonight here at the Tot Workman Dome. The scoring started on Round Valley's opening possession. They got the ball thrown 13-yard line after Payson punted it to them. And then the Elks burned a bunch of time, 5 minutes and 57 seconds on the way to a 31-yard field goal by Amador Garcia. That made it 3-0 Round Valley in front. The teams played scoreless through the end of the first quarter. Payson got the ball then. They went 3 and out, punted away. Round Valley, from that point, were able to go on a 9-play scoring drive that took 5 minutes and 30 seconds of clock time. And the touchdown was a cage finch to J.J. Logan, 24-yard touchdown pass on 4th down. The kick was good, and Round Valley got to a 10-0 advantage with that. The following Payson possession, well, that ended with a J.J. Logan interception. So J.J. has clearly established himself, in my opinion, as the odds-on favorite for the Sports Zone's player of the game. He certainly was in the first half here. By the way, Sports Zone player of the game presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. And at the end of our game, we'll find out who picks that up and gets the great T-shirt as well. Well, after the interception, no real threat from that point on. Round Valley didn't do anything with it. They went 3 and out, punted, and then Payson threw the 58-yard pass that did not get into the end zone. And there's the end of the first half right there. And, well, a defensive struggle. I love good defense. I love to see scoring when it's really well executed scoring. You get some great offensive work done by the two teams. I love to see it under those circumstances. Generally speaking, I'll take these low-scoring defensive struggles all day long, and I just like the way these two teams have been battling out here tonight.
For sure. And I think that this game might be a little bit different on the scoreboard if Payson doesn't have a few costly penalties there in the first half, especially on their first couple drives, because they came out ready. They moved the ball quite well, I think, on their first 2 drives, comparatively speaking, with how they've moved the ball since. But penalties have just been killer for them. They break off a 12-yard run and get called back for holding and things like that, and that's going to hurt. But no, I agree. I like to see a little bit of a mix, but I agree that I like to see touchdowns when it's earned. You know, I like to see an offense march down and then, you know, get a 25-yard run into the end zone or a 25-yard pass into the end zone to kind of cap off a good drive.
Hey, another note from that first half. Always great to see when players come back from injury. You know, football is physical and violent as it can be. Injuries are just a part of the game. And Jeffrey Cochran, on the very first play that he made for the team coming back, you'll see it right here, as a matter of fact, on the replays. Cochran with that catch and the nice run after catch, taking some abuse there and standing in and handling it well. It was a big gain for him, and what a nice confidence builder for that young man in his senior season, able to make it back from injury, and hopefully he is going to stay upright for the team the rest of the season and contribute. Getting him back is big. I heard Trenton Tricky's name called out there by the public address announcer. I think Trenton has seen some spot time in the first half. They were going to try to get him into the game, but he is just having a hard time with the leg injury, making his way back onto the field. We did see Lane Hill in the starting lineup, and Lane is back out there. He's contributing. You get all those guys back. If you got them back at 100%, I'm telling you, this Round Valley defense would be virtually indestructible from that point. I mean, just hard to do anything with. I'll find the term I'm looking for, but they need to get some guys healthy, and it looks like they're on the road to getting that done. Well, folks, so we're going to grab a timeout, and we'll return with the final thoughts. In the first half, we'll give you a look at statistics provided by the lovely Sonia Simmons. We'll have those when we return after the break and get you ready for the second half of this broadcast. The Sports Zone Game of the Week. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime report continues right after this.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
The all-new 2025 Toyota Tacoma is here at Hatch Toyota, and it's tougher, smarter, and bolder than ever. It's built to handle Arizona's wildest terrain. Drive one home for as low as $269 a month. Plus, it's deal or better deal. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then take your shot at bonus savings with 15 mystery briefcases. Each holds a hidden discount from $300 to $3,000. Only at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
The gridiron is where teams come to battle and dominate. With over 5 decades of knowledge and expertise, manpower, and a whole lot of horsepower, Perkins Cinders is that all-star teammate you need to dominate your project. They deliver all things dirt, from gravel, cinders, topsoil mulch, concrete materials, and more. Want to score big? Use the one that will get you that win. Perkins Cinders is helping you get a load of this.
Your neighbors and friends won't have to fake their enthusiasm over your new wall. With the durability and strength of precast Verticrete walls from Hatch Concrete is a solid investment. Enhance your property's value with a 2-sided decorative concrete wall that's as stylish as it is affordable. No yearly repairs or restaining needed. Request a free estimate from Hatch Concrete today, where quality isn't just a name, but a tradition.
Hey, back in, everybody. Thanks for joining us from Todd Workman Dome in Round Valley. The original name of the dome. Do you know the original name of the dome?
I do not.
You don't? You know, right? Rochelle Austin, who lives here and is doing our scoreboard for us today, she lives here in Round Valley. You don't know the original name of the dome? It's on a big old sign, by the way, right down on the bottom here. Okay. The End Sphere. The End Sphere. The End Sphere. It's not even a sphere.
No.
Maybe that's what end sphere means. Maybe it means not actually a sphere.
Yeah, maybe.
Not a complete sphere. I don't know. But that's what it was called for a long time. The longest time, okay, the answer. Now it's the Todd Workman Dome. Back here as we get ready for the second half here and give our final thoughts on the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tints halftime report. Let's look at statistics from the first half. Round Valley with 13 minutes and 50 seconds time of possession and 10 first downs for the team. They garnered 165 yards of total offense. Average gain on offense per play, 4.7 yards. 90 yards rushing for the Elks, 75 yards passing. By the way, on the ground, they're averaging 4.3 yards a rush, which seems low to me, especially from the beginning. That opening drive, I mean, they were just gashing that Payson defense, big gains. But Payson has stepped it up defensively, so there's your average, just under 5 yards per Round Valley Elk rushing play. The Elks have not thrown the ball well today. 5 of 14 as a team, and that's all Cage Finch. Those are his numbers. 5 of 14 for 75 yards and 1 touchdown, completing 36% of his passes. You know, they got to improve on that. That's for certain. They have been sacked once in the game and have not turned the ball over, so they've played otherwise cleanly on offense. I mentioned that Cage Finch is 5 of 14 for 75 yards and a touchdown. His leading receiver is J.J. Logan with 2 catches for 27 yards, including a 24-yard touchdown pass. Jeffrey Cochran, 1 catch for 19 yards. Brody Crick, 1 catch, 16 yards. And Brenton Walker has 1 catch for 13 yards. Leading the ground game is Brody Crick with 11 rushes for 52 yards. Jackson Crick has 6 carries for 33 yards. And the quarterback, Cage Finch, 4 rushes for 5 yards for the Round Valley offense. And for the Payson Longhorns, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit. Sorry about that, you people. Let me zoom in, give you a good look at the numbers here. Payson has had the ball 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Only 3 first downs for Payson in that first half. 130 yards of offense for the team, including that big 58-yard gain on the final play that ended up not really amounting to much other than a big gain. Maybe that gives a little confidence to the offense and a lift in the second half. By the way, Round Valley get the ball first. 130 yards of total offense for Payson. They only ran 18 offensive plays in that first half. They averaged 7.2 yards per gain, but a lot of that was the 58-yarder there at the end. 34 yards rushing for the team, 96 yards passing on 8 of 11. They were sacked twice, penalized 4 times for 40 yards. By the way, I think we have 0 penalties on Round Valley. Does that seem right?
I think so. I think
Seems
that's
right.
correct.
No penalties. That's great first half for them. And 1 turnover was an interception thrown by Payson. Their quarterback, Nolan Keeney, is 8 of 11 for 96 yards. That's 73% completions. He has thrown 1 interception. His leading receiver, Carter Kelton, caught that 1 pass at the end of the half for 58 yards. Nathan Sosi has caught 4 of his passes for 27 yards. Bert Shear, 1 catch for 7 yards. Marco Jaricki, 2 catches for 4 yards. Nathan Sosi leads the ground game, 4 rushes for 41 yards, averaging 10.3 yards a carry, according to our numbers. Nolan Keeney, 2 rushes for -4 yards, and Johnny McInerney, 1 carry for -3 yards. And that is what the numbers look like in the first half as we get set to bring you in for the second half here. And a pooch kick on the second half start by Payson. Try to do what Round Valley did to St. John's with that style of kick, but Round Valley able to scoop it up, and they'll have the ball at their own 49-yard line to start the second half. This is the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota. Floyd Simmons and my broadcast partner is Trey Schneider, everybody. Welcome in. Hey, Trey, as we get the second half going, I'm going to ask you from time to time about the Friday Night Football Show Hall of Fame. So after this first down play by Round Valley to start the half, you're going to tell me guys that you played with or against in your era of high school football that you think might deserve a chance at the Hall of Fame. Cage Finch fakes it, carries, first down across the 40-yard line into Payson territory, and that's a 12-yard pickup for Cage to start the second half. Banged up a little bit, but he gets up. That was J.J. Logan banged up as well. So, Trey, a name or 2 or 3 that you played with that deserve some at least consideration for the Hall of Fame.
Gotcha. I'll start with a guy that I actually played against, who I have a lot of respect for, and that is Rhett Reisdorf of Sholo. Fantastic quarterback. I believe he was the best quarterback statistically in our.
And you know that he's been elected already, right?
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, you didn't. You're not paying enough attention to the Friday Night Football Show. Come on now, Trey. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Was Rhett? Rhett was already.
Rhett has been elected. He was elected last year. He will be inducted this year.
Good for him. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. I mean, he's an obvious choice.
Yeah. But I think another obvious choice, and this is a guy that I played with who I have a lot of respect for, and that's J.R. Fox.
J.R. Fox.
That dude was an absolute beast. He showed up week in and week out. Very few guys work like he did in the offseason and in the dark, essentially, where no eyes are on him, but he's putting in that work. And it showed. He dominated on both ends of the ball.
Tough guy. That was a 1-yard gain on first down. Second down and 9. The Elks line it up. Logan split right. Not going to get it his direction. Cage Finch decides he wants to try to pick up that first down. He will be at or very near the sticks here. A little short. 8 yards to pick up. The 30-yard line, the spot for Round Valley. And look at this. The Elks starting out this second half the way they began the game by gashing that Payson defense with the running game.
Exactly right there. As we see, they're exerting their dominance right now. They have some momentum, and they're going to continue to exert some of that physical dominance that they have right now.
Well, they're going to try to anyway. Up the middle, yeah, first down. And there is Jackson Crick to the 12-yard line. That'll be an 18-yard pickup. And it was just wide open through the middle. I mean, nobody laid a hand on him until he got 10 yards or so downfield.
Those linebackers, I think, are creeping a little too close to the line because his line, Jackie Crick's line there, they opened up a hole, and he was not touched until the safety was able to get down to him.
Round Valley first down. Cage will line him up. Give it again. Right side, cut back. Great vision by Jackson Crick to take it inside the 5-yard line and near another first down. He'll be marked down right at the 4, so about a yard. That's a 9-yard pickup. And how about the freshman using his blocker up front?
Using his blocker, and as you mentioned in the call there, great vision. You don't see very many freshmen run with that sort of confidence.
And he's going to lead the way into the end zone for Cage Finch, who will jump in for a Round Valley touchdown.
This is the Cage Finch we're used to seeing. I mentioned in the first half I thought he might be maybe a little banged up, but on this drive he had 2 big plays, one of those being the touchdown run right there, and that's looking more like the Cage Finch we've come to know.
Garcia puts his foot into it, and the kick is up and good. Watch Cage once again. And that is demoralizing to that Payson defense for sure. And Round Valley on a roll, 17-0 they lead. The Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
When exactness is ordered, Hatch Concrete will deliver. We provide ready-mix concrete for any size job, from the do-it-yourself project to the professional construction project, delivering a variety of aggregate to suit your concrete or construction needs from granite to cinders. Hatch Concrete is not just another ready-mix concrete company. We provide quality service, quality concrete, concrete pumping, and Fox blocks where quality is not just a name, but a tradition. At Hatch Concrete, this mud's for you.
And you see it there on the small screen there, that kick coverage team by the Round Valley Elks. Boy, when it rains, it pours, and the Elks are certainly pouring it on right now. Payson just can't seem to find anything.
Payson, the return man there, Marco Jaricki, he tried his best to try to make something happen there, and sometimes in football, the best thing you can do is just run forward. And he spent a little too much time going side to side, and it cost them right there as they're going to start inside their own 20. Inside their own 15.
So the ball marked at the 13-yard line for the Longhorns, and it's going to be up to Nolan Keeney and his guys on offense to see if they can get some things jump-started. And the cutback was not there because the defender makes a big play. Flag is down.
That was a quick flag right here, right in front of us.
Yeah, it was, but boy, I tell you, you do not want to get stood up and driven back like that. It doesn't just feel bad, it also hurts the pride a little bit as you get a procedure penalty on Payson. And I don't know, what are they going to do about it? Are they taking the penalty? Did they have to take the penalty? Was that Joe Brown that drove him back on the big hit? I think it was.
I think so.
The ball had gotten to the 15-yard line, so they had a 2-yard gain. Round Valley wants to talk it over, and they are gonna push Payson back 5 yards. So scratch the play. It's back to the 8-yard line, and I think that's what you want to do, right? You want to push that other team closer to their goal line. You might not have taken that penalty if it was near midfield, but in that situation, just make it that much tougher. How tough is it psychologically as you get pushed further into your end zone?
As a quarterback, you're sweating because you're the last line of defense between the ball and the end zone, so you don't want to be right here.
Got to get a good snap, and they do, and they'll give it. And there's just not much happening in the middle. Round Valley defense, I think that's Joe Brown getting congratulated again by his guys. Nathan Sosi comes up, and he is working that right shoulder. Hey, we got, this is a rarity in a non-Navajo Nation game for us to call with the Sports Zone. We've got 2 people on the field named Sosi. You got Nathan Sosi right there, number 15 in the backfield, and our field judge right there, the guy there with the big F on his back. That's Brian Sosi. I just think that's a cool little oddity for a game like this played at the Dome. Here comes the Round Valley defense, and they're going to wrap up Keeney, and he'll sneak out of there and get to the 1 yard line to avoid the safety. But Round Valley is just all over the quarterback, and is that Joe Brown again on the play? I think he's made 3 big plays on this series alone for that defense.
Joe Brown right now is just exerting himself. He is out there just making big plays. We're getting a replay right here. Look for number 50. He was one of the last ones there, but he did a great job to seal that in.
He's in on it.
Yep, great job by that entire front to just apply that pressure.
Keeney somehow got out of the end zone, but he lost 7 on the play. And that's why you take that 5-yard penalty, isn't it?
Yep.
You're going to try to give it to Sosi for some room to run. He gets 8 yards on the play, out to the 9-yard line. Give a little bit of room for the guy to kick the football. That's all that did. And Round Valley's going to get it back with very likely a short field, and Keeney's going to want to make sure he does not kick it directly to number 12 back there to field that punt, Brody Crick. This is where, if you're Brody, man, you're just feeling it.
You are chomping at the bit. You are hoping that he makes that mistake and kicks it right to you.
They're just loving this stuff. Here comes a kick. Well, that's a high one. That almost hit the roof, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 49-yard line near midfield. It is going to be Round Valley's football, presumably. You see some laundry on the field.
Yeah, that was a late flag. It looked like the ball was already out of bounds when that flag was thrown.
It's a blindside block on Round Valley on the return, so instead of the ball at the 49-yard line, that will be backed up a little bit.
All right, our first 50-50 winner.
And back into Round Valley territory. Was that it right there?
Yep.
See it again. Back that up a little bit. Have a look again at the hit. It took a while for it to develop. Yeah, you got to yell at the guy, right? Give him a chance to turn his head.
Well, and that's one, too. The play is over. You know, if that's a block you need to make, you hustle and beat him to the spot and then go drive on him.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the first penalty of the game assessed against Round Valley. Here comes the give to Brody Crick, and he'll get a bunch of running room around the right side. Brody is going to pick up 8 yards to leave 2 to get. It'll be second down in a couple.
J.J. Logan there trying to help out with the block and might have helped Brody Crick to the ground.
Clock becoming an enemy of the Payson Longhorns. They are being shut out after dealing out. I think they have 4 shutouts this year, at least 3. Might have 4. I could look at it again here in a minute. Give you the exact number. Brody Crick, off tackle right. That's what they used to call that play in the old days, Trey. Off tackle right. Brody will get the first down. Check it for you. My numbers are right. That's a gain of 4. Is that all he got on that play?
I think so.
Sure felt like a lot more.
A lot of running for 4 yards.
We used to call it off tackle right. Okay, and usually there was a lead blocker as well. There was like a fullback running in front of you. We didn't run those spread offenses back in the day. Here comes Cage Finch off the fake. Cage for 3 yards. And into Payson territory.
No, we called those a buck sweep. I don't know if that's the technical term for that these days, but essentially just to go off tackle to go right outside, we called that the buck sweep.
Yeah, but you guys were stealing terminology there in Snowflake when you ran that, because you never ran the wing tee, and that is a wing tee term.
Yep. Buck
sweep. It belongs to the wing tee. So you guys, I don't know what you guys were running out there those days, but
it was a lot of tight stuff. We had a double flex formation we'd come out to every now and again.
Second down and 7. Fake it, throw it, open. And that is a Jeffrey Cochran catch. Jeffrey's going to turn that into 18 yards and a first down.
Fantastic play, Cochran. He ran that like he's been here before. He knew exactly where he needed to get to be. He flashed his numbers here to Cage Finch and got a big gain out of it.
Safety way late in getting over to give some help there, and Round Valley takes advantage. The ball at the 31-yard line of Payson. The Longhorns just cannot come up with a solution here in this third quarter. Well, there's a short gain. Brody Crick brought down, driven back. The guy at the making the first hit on the running back, Ethan Gertner, is the tackler. 2-yard gain.
As you mentioned, time is not a friend for Payson right now, but it's not over. It's a 3-possession game, plenty of time here. But your defense, you guys are going to have to tighten up if you're Payson. You can't allow them to continue to run the ball as they have. I think that this is one of the shortest gains we've seen so far, and it was a gain of 2.
Run it left side, and some blocking in front of this one for Brody Crick, who is able to pick up 8 yards right near the line to gain. Just short of it. Make it 7. 7 yards to pick up. It'll be a yard or something just less than that to get the first down. So Round Valley took a lot of time between plays the last couple, and now they get to the line quickly on the short yardage play straight ahead to Brody Crick, and Brody's got 3 yards, and he's also got the first down on the play. Hey, you know, these two teams, just a little point of interest here, I believe they're both playing with new helmet looks this year. You see the Round Valley helmet. Do they even have a logo anywhere on that helmet? They've got something on the back, maybe a number on the back. And there's Payson's new look helmet this year, which I love. I love that look myself.
Well, Rochelle and I were talking about it before the game, and from up here, it looks like their helmets are bejeweled or bedazzled. You know, they've got a certain glimmer to them.
Well, I can't say I agree with that, but you guys saw something in it. There's Jackson Crick up the middle for a no gain on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. So I just think it's a great look, especially because, you know, I was a little tired of the old Payson look. I wanted something new anyway. And there's Round Valley. I'm looking. Is there anything on those helmets?
There's like a little yellow sticker it looks like they all have on the back, but I don't know if that's necessarily a logo.
I don't think it is. I'd like to see something there. I'd also like to see an updated Elks logo anyway. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I hate the old one. Not saying I hate it. Here comes Finch. He sets up. Contact on the receiver. That'll be pass interference. It'll be half the distance to the goal line. And the only question is that going to be an automatic first down? 2 flags come out. I think they're both for the same thing. So the ball is at the line of scrimmage, the 18-yard line. Pass interference is 15 yards, but if I am not mistaken, not an automatic first down. So half the distance from here would be 9 yards. Oh, roughing the passer. Well, forget it. Automatic first down on the way. They'll take that one. So those roughing the passer and pass interference. It didn't look like the most aggressive of hits, though we could not see the finish on that play, on that angle. But he did continue to go after him after the release. There he is, got him a bump afterward. They take that one, that's an automatic first down. Ball at the 9-yard line, half the distance on the penalty.
Yeah, that's a tough one if you're Payson, because the ball was out, you know, just let it be.
Back off. I mean, you got a guy with a white hat standing right there behind you. And it's 1st and goal for the Elks. Handed off, Jackson Crick with a head of steam. Hits the defender at the 5 and gets another maybe yard out of it. Maybe 2. They're going to put him at the 3. Mark him right there. Gain of 6 right there for Jackson Crick as we go to 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in the third quarter and the clock counting down.
I thought we were going to get a WWE-style tackle there. He got picked up and drove back, and I was worried that they were going to just pile drive him, but luckily they did let him down somewhat easy.
Here comes the 10th play of the drive for Round Valley. And it's used exactly 5 minutes now of clock. And that is going to go right by Cage. And Brody's got to rescue the football at about the 11-yard line. So loss of 8 yards on the play. This officiating crew has done a great job tonight. And one of the things that for me they've done really well is spotting the football. So I saw Adrian Perkins down here. He's one of the linesmen out there. He's on this near side of the field. The way he went back and spotted it right where there's Adrian, right exactly where I saw Brody contact the football. He slid backwards to the 12-yard line. It was just, he saw the angle. He was right on the spot. and the officiating crew just doing a terrific job today. We got a timeout with 1:10 remaining in the quarter. Stand by. It's the Sports Zone Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota.
It started with a dream. Simple, honest, and rooted in the White Mountains of Arizona. That dream shaped legends, and those legends built Perkins Cinders. Through decades of ethic and hard work, the business became more than a name. Perkins Cinders, built by legends, driven by purpose.
Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Show Low, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
Boom. Back into it, all you people. We thank you for joining us on our broadcast coverage of the Sports Zone Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Hatch Toyota, Floyd Simmons, and Trey Schneider, and our scoreboard operator, Rochelle Austin, doing a terrific job for us in this one today. Can't say thank you enough, except to maybe eat some of her, maybe some meatloaf. Hey, here's the halfback pass. No, Brody says, I'll take it. Take it myself. He's trying to get to the end zone here on this 3rd and goal. And he is driven out at the 5-yard line. Gain of 11. It's 4th down on the way for Round Valley. And the 12th play of the possession on the way. Their longest possession in terms of number of plays run was 13 on their opening field goal drive. And here comes the 12th play here. And Cage Finch says, I'll take this 4th down conversion into the end zone. That's a Round Valley touchdown.
This kid moves like Kyler Murray. I know maybe some people don't want to have that comparison. I know that some people may not be his biggest fan, but Cage Finch, great job there, looking for a hole and got to the end zone.
So running the football, I will take a comparison to Kyler Murray all day long. And that was a terrific run by a guy who wears the same jersey number as Kyler Murray, huh? Jersey 1. Good finish, good strong finish by Cage Finch. Watch him one more time. Do we need a break, by the way, guys? Do we need time? No, we'll stay right here. Okay, we'll stay. How about 23 donuts? Our score here, Round Valley, issuing a proclamation to the rest of 3A football, because Payson at 5-0 was highly regarded. Payson had a lot of respect around the state, media, and others. A lot of people saying Payson they're going to win the Mountain Region, and Payson one of the top teams in the state. I think the Arizona Republic had them ranked number 2 at the start of the season, if I'm not mistaken, in their rankings. Round Valley has said, ahem. What about us?
Exactly. And I think Max Preps had Payson at number 1 in 3A.
Did they really?
I think so, as of today. And so, yeah, like you said, this is a great statement game for Round Valley right now.
Here come the Elks in coverage. I say that, on a return by Payson, because that coverage team was making their way down, and they just blew up that wedge in the middle, and another big hit on a Payson returner, Jariki. A lot of G-forces on the body with that abrupt stop. And Round Valley, once again, physical. Great job stopping that return. They just haven't given Payson much breathing room in this one today.
No, and I want to credit, I think that was Brody Kilapolo on that hit. That was just a massive, massive hit. And that's one that you're going to feel tomorrow morning.
Slot left formation. They'll run the read option. And Keeney is going to get a big chunk of change here on this one. How about 18 yards? 18 to pick up on the play for Keeney.
Great decision there from Keeney to pull, and great job. He cut it up, almost immediately. Once he got outside the tackle, he cut up and got 18 yards on a great little run right there.
Yeah, well read, well run, well executed. We got 30 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Jariki splits out left. Sosi in the backfield. I want to give it to him, and he is hit immediately by Jackson Craig, but Jackson goes on a ride. After the initial contact, Sosi able to carry him 5 yards. And a net gain on the play of 4 yards for Nathan Sosi. The ball just shy of midfield.
That was a very apt description of what just happened. Jackson Crick, great job. Hit him in the backfield at about the -1 for the play there. And Sosi took him for another 6 yards on a man's run.
There's Nathan Sosi right there. He's gotten beat up a little bit today by that Round Valley defense. He's got another 12 minutes of football left as we come to the end of the third quarter. Big fourth period next. Round Valley in front, 23-0. The Sports Zone Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota.
It's deal or better deal. Only at Hatch Toyota in Show. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then play deal or better deal. We've got 15 briefcases loaded with bonus discounts from $300 to a whopping $3,000. Pick your case, open it up, boom, $800 in additional savings. Now here's the twist. Keep it or risk it and go for a better deal. You can keep going until you say deal or drop below your last pick. Financing starting at 0% for 72 months and payment starting at just $189 a month at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Hey, let's get it going here in the fourth quarter, everybody. The Sports Zone Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. And Nolan Keeney's going to stay alive long enough to throw a bomb, and he hooks up with his guy for a touchdown. Well, Nolan Keeney's got a huge arm. He's got a sidearm delivery, and he found a guy just enough behind the defense to put some points on the board for a first time today. On the first play of the fourth quarter, Bert Shear hauls it in for the Payson touchdown.
Just an absolute bomb of a throw. Fantastic job by both Keeney and was that Garicki that caught that pass? Or was that
I think it was Bert Shear.
Bert Shear. Great job.
Hey, the swinging gates for the Payson Longhorns. They're going for 2. And the quarterback going to try to throw a screen on that side. Round Valley had it sniffed out, and they're able to stop it just shy. Well, they were there. They knew what to expect and what they were doing, but Payson gets on the board. It's 23-6. Round Valley's got the lead, and we'll return in a moment. Get this fourth quarter rolling on the Sports Zone Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota.
When it comes to paint, whether you're looking for interior or exterior paint, Dunn Edwards provides quality solutions to make all your painting projects look professional. And the home of Dunn Edwards in the White Mountains is Ace Hardware in Show Low, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard. Thanks to Dunn Edwards, Ace has the best interior paint for your home or office, and their exterior paint will stand up to the wear and tear of our tough seasonal weather. When it's time to paint, it's time to visit Ace Hardware of the White Mountains for high-quality Dunn Edwards interior and exterior paint and primer. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
Let's get it done, everybody. Get back for the fourth quarter here. The Payson Longhorns will deliver it back to Round Valley's offense, which has had their way for the most part today. 23 points on the board by that Round Valley offense. I'm going to get it back here in just a moment. They did miss that last point after, didn't they? A moment ago. Or did they?
They went for 2 on that swinging gate.
No, I'm talking about Round Valley. Sorry about that. I'm confusing you. I'm going back in time a little bit. It was Payson, of course, failing, as you mentioned there. Trey failing on the 2-point try. Well, this is going to be some sort of a pooch kick, onside kick, something like that. Payson will not kick it deep. And it's an onside try, and it's got a chance. Boy, good recovery. by Payson. Wasn't that Titan that covered it up?
Yep, great job, Titan Myers. And real quick, we had a correction. So when we were talking about the Hall of Fame, and I was mentioning that Rhett Reisdorf should be one of the next from my era, we got a correction. We were thinking Rathan Reisdorf and his little brother Rhett.
My bad. Rhett's out there going, hey, what, I'm in the Hall of Fame. Sorry, Rhett. Sorry, Rhett. Yeah, my bad. You're right. Rhett, Rathan. This is, old guy, not putting it together. And we're going to take a look at that touchdown again here after this first down play, assuming this isn't a big play for Round Valley. Look at that touchdown again from Payson. But first, on first down, from the 39, Cage is going to carry it for a yard. So let's look back at that Payson touchdown. Ends up being a 51-yard touchdown to Bert Shear. Just a great job by Bert. Hauling it in, bringing it in.
That was a full team effort right there. Breaking tackles by the quarterback, great blocking from the front, and great reception there from Bert to get it in the end zone.
Round Valley, who began at their own 39 with this new possession. Cage Finch under pressure, delivers, caught, and a big hit at the end of this one. Check it for you here, but the guy that brought it in, Lane Hill, who's been injured this season, and that'll be a big boost for that young man back on the field for Round Valley.
Yeah, look at the replay right here. Payson does a great job bringing a lot of pressure there off the edge, and Cage Finch just dumping it off right over the top of the pressure, and Lane Hill going down and making a big play.
15 yards, and a first down to the Longhorn 36-yard line. Brody Crick. Brody on a 4-yard gain right there. You watch him. He waiting for that offensive line to do their work and open a little seam for him right there. He didn't. A lot of time we're used to running back gets it and they're just supposed to be going downhill full speed the whole time. Not so. A little delay there in the backfield, and Brody just trying to find that seam to squeeze through, and was able to get 4 yards out of the play.
That's more the style nowadays. They want to give the offensive lineman time to run their actions so that the running back has a better hole.
Second down play. Finch with the long snap count, used a lot of that play clock, and once again it's Brody. Brody cuts it into the jaws of the defense for a 4-yard pickup on that play. And third and a couple coming up. 9.5 minutes remaining on this kind of rare Saturday night varsity showdown. I still don't know why they had to play this game on Saturday. Didn't play it last night. Maybe it was not enough officials, but normally they move those games to Thursday. So somebody has an idea out there. Somebody knows. Maybe you could tell me. Cage checks it over, looks it over, gets the play call, which is everybody in the building knew that Jackson was going to get the ball. And Jackson Crick has a 3-yard pickup for a first down. I was looking at that. I was watching Brody look at his armband for the play. Not another player on the field looked at their armband.
I don't know how you communicate that then to the rest of your team if they're not going to look at theirs.
I think it tells me they knew the play. They were running the same play, and Brody was Cage was trying to tell the guys, trying to show the defense, we might be changing the play.
Yeah, a little bit of trickery.
I don't think so. They didn't. Nobody else looked. First down. Ball at the 35-yard line. Taking a lot of time. Jackson again, and he'll get brought down in the backfield. That was Sosi on defense making the play and a yard loss on the play.
It's a little bit different when you're at this point in the game and you're fairly certain it's going to be a run play, as Round Valley is just trying to run out this clock. But Payson's doing a good job right now of sniffing out the run. as we were joking about earlier, these linebackers, they're scraping down the line and they're coming and making big hits. But if you're Round Valley, you're happy with how you're still moving the ball, despite the fact that Payson knows that that's exactly what you're doing.
2nd down and 11. Which direction is Brody going to take it this time? Nope, quarterback. Fooled me. He fooled me, Jerry. Let's see, gain to the 30. That is a pickup of 6 on the play. Make it 7 yards. We'll mark him to the 29-yard line.
Yeah, he had about all of us fooled there, and great run, great pull there. Good job to keep the defense honest, as it seemed as, 10 of the 11 players had kind of bid on the handoff, and they were able to recover a couple back to the other side to ensure that wasn't a touchdown run.
So now 3rd down. Brody Crick. So quick to get to the edge, cut it up, and do something with it. 5 yards, the gain on the play, and a 1st down again for Round Valley as they continue to churn out some time here. They have burned a little over 4 minutes of possession on this possession.
Going back to that previous play, Brody Crick had some explosion as soon as that ball was handed off to him. He was out of the backfield in a hurry.
I don't know how Cage Finch just did that, but Cage has found the end zone for a 19-yard touchdown run. How he stayed on his feet and how he beat that defense, I just don't quite know yet. What a run by Cage.
A lot of that seemed like Payson gave up on the end of that play. They had him wrapped up, and I thought that was the end of the play. Whistle never came. Cage Finch snuck out of that tackle and got to the end zone.
Garcia tacks on the point for the Elks. And with 7:18 remaining here in regulation, it's 30-6. Round Valley continues to mount their lead. Stand by, the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Your neighbors and friends won't have to fake their enthusiasm over your new wall. With the durability and strength of precast Verticrete walls from Hatch Concrete is a solid investment. Enhance your property's value with a two-sided decorative concrete wall that's as stylish as it is affordable. No yearly repairs or restaining needed. Request a free estimate from Hatch Concrete today, where quality isn't just a name, but a tradition.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
The Payson Longhorns are going to get a big kick return and some life here in the 4th quarter. That was just a great job down the sideline. The return by Xavier Robinson, the junior for Payson. He'll take this to the Round Valley 32-ish yard line. Watch the return. Tough to do, tough to keep it in that little narrow, 10-foot little lane that he ran down the sideline and still get that much room to run. Well done.
Yeah, had some blown coverages there. If you're the Round Valley Elks on that kickoff, a couple guys broke from their lanes, and you don't like to see that if you're the special teams coach.
And this is the very best field position to start by a long way for Payson today. They have not been this deep into Round Valley territory anyway, a lot. The ball that ends up on the turf, recovered by one of the Payson linemen, and it will be a loss of 2 yards. We're going to give that to somebody, and so I think we give that to the quarterback because he's the last guy that actually had possession of it. So sorry, Nolan Keeney. -2 for him on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Hey, I want to mention something. We have an official out there, that a well-known official from this area that is listening in.
one of the best.
And he gave us a little comment from earlier in the game. We get a timeout. Payson will call timeout right here with 6 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in regulation. So Paul Hancock is an official. By the way, Paul's father, Gerald Hancock, the older generations remember Gerald from his decades of service as an official here in this part of the state. Gerald is a member of one of the Halls of Fame. I can't remember which one it is, but officiating Hall of Fame. Maybe Arizona officials, referees, or something. Maybe an AIA thing. I don't know. But Gerald, many years ago, was elected into a Hall of Fame as he deserved for his many years of excellent service. Paul Hancock, his son, longtime official in this area. Paul made it. He was commenting earlier on that. Remember that block in the back?
Yep.
We saw way back then. Was that back in the first half? Maybe
second
back
half.
in the third quarter?
Yep.
I'll tell you about his comments on that block in the back a moment ago. Here's the motion man across the formation, and that'll be an offensive penalty. That'll be a false start. So it'll be 2nd and 17 now for Payson if they step it off. Anyway, here's what Paul said. He said blindside, if he would have gone open hands, it would have been legal on that block. Open hands would have been legal. It was also so far behind the play, I think he means that most of the time the officials will get that to keep the game clean. Okay, so you don't want that. You know, you're 30, 40 yards away from where the ball is, and you just start throwing cheap shots out there. Don't want that. So, Paul, thank you for the explanation on that. Here's a incomplete pass. And that's going to bring up third and a bunch to go for Payson. Well, Payson hasn't shown much of a mid-range or even a short passing game. Not to any great success, but they know how to hook the ball downfield.
He's got a little, Nolan Keeney, he's got a little bit of the Trey Schneider syndrome, where he just wants the home run play time after time. And while that looks cool in the highlights, it can be difficult to win games when you get in some of these higher competition games.
Third down, 17. Keeney, lots of pressure, finds a guy. Will he get the first down? And look at Nathan Sosi finish off. A lot of fight left in that young man, and he's got a 20-yard pickup to move the chains. Big 4th down conversion.
I think that was Xavier Robinson on the catch. Great job. Scared us a little bit. He made the catch and then came back to what would have been not enough yards here. You can see he comes back. But great job, great fight, realizing he's got to get upfield, and got the first down.
And you're exactly right. That was Robinson that hauled it in. The ball at the 19-yard line movement, and I think that's a false start on the offensive line. Longhorns showing some life here, but with 5:54 remaining, they have a ton of work to get done. And among the things they've got to do is get to the end zone as quickly as possible. Payson coaches holding each other back on the sideline.
I think those are Round Valley's coaches.
Round Valley, yeah, sorry about that. Round Valley coaches. Keeney, he doesn't have the foot speed to escape. Trenton, tricky, number 4, coming up making that play. Trenton getting some playing time. He's been hurt all year, and he's got to feel great with that. No gain on the play. And Trenton, senior year, such a great talent, great player. Been hurt all season long, makes a great play.
You love to see it. As you mentioned for Cochran earlier, you come in, you make a big play in your first game back. It's a great welcome back onto the field.
2nd and 15, and that is going to be tipped and intercepted by Round Valley. They're going to step out to keep possession of the football. Payson Finch, the junior, with the interception. There's a marker down, but that might right there just be enough to take the win completely out of the sails of this Payson team.
Yeah, I think that penalty is going to go against Lucas Lee. I think that there was a little bit of late contact, but I think the ref was willing to let that go, and it seemed like the player, Lucas Lee, might have had something to say to the ref on his way by.
So, illegal conversation is what you're trying to tell me?
I don't know if that's the name of the penalty. I might just go with unsportsmanlike conduct, but something like that, yeah. Because if you look right here, Lucas Lee's the guy that came from the right side of the screen and made that push there. And I think that he had something to say after that push.
Conversation unbecoming?
Something like that, yeah.
So after they mark off that penalty, the ball is at the 23-yard line for Round Valley, who then immediately call a timeout. Do we need to take any more? We're good for the balance of the game? Okay. Then we'll stay here, but we will say thank you to our sponsoring partners that help us bring you this coverage of the Sports Zone Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Hatch Toyota. Thank you to Beeman Well Drilling. Great people at Beeman Well Drilling. Cannot say thank you enough for their many years of loyalty with us here at the Sports Zone. Thank you to Hatch Concrete. Hatch Concrete, where they say this mud's for you. Don't drink it. Don't drink the mud. But it is still for you. So a big thank you to Hatch Concrete. Thank you as well to the Furniture Gallery in Snowflake. And a first down play here for Cage Finch, who is still out there with the first teamers, like this guy, Brody Crick. Brody is going to step out of bounds. He's got the first down. Gain of 12 yards.
So I've never coached football before, but at what point is this a situation where you would consider putting in your backups to allow your first stringers a chance to not get hurt and save them for the next game? That's the question I have.
So many different philosophies to that. If it were the Sholo Cougars, I guarantee you that the way that they approach it with this team here now and this coaching staff, yeah, they would have already gone to their bench. I don't know. It's kind of a 50-50. I make lots of references to Paul Morrow because he set the standard in so many different ways, and Coach Morrow his starters would be on the field still right now. Now we're starting to see some guys work in and out of the lineup. But you still get your starting quarterback out there. And Cage will take the snap here on this second down and 11. And he'll run the play clock down as much as he can. Brody Crick still in the game. And the junior is going to get bottled up after a 2-yard pickup here. But the clock will tick down to under 4 minutes remaining in regulation before Round Valley runs another offensive play.
If you're Round Valley, you're feeling really good right now. Big statement win. As I mentioned, Payson was the #1 team according to Max Preps today. And to come in and just absolutely dominate on both sides of the ball, that's got to be a great feeling for these coaches.
Okay, but with all due respect to Max Preps, they do a wonderful job on so many things. But does anybody care about their rankings?
No, but you got to look at the fact that they were high enough up, and I'm sure that they would have been ranked highly by Arizona Republic.
And look at Cage Finch! Break into the open field. He'll get dragged down, but not before he turns in a huge gain. Deep into Payson territory. There's the dagger right there.
Cage Finch, that kid is quick. Great job. Great explosion right here. He pulls the option down, makes one man miss, gets a great block. I believe that was Payson. Let's see, number 11. Payson Finch. Do you think they're related?
I believe they're brothers.
Cousins. Well, hey, that's cousin love right there, getting a great block, helping him out. I don't know if is that the thing. I'm just throwing that out there.
What did I just hear? That was, by the way, a 51-yard pickup from scrimmage for Cage Finch, who now puts himself strongly in contention for the Sports Zone's Player of the Game. Brought to you by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. He has to dive on this one. That's going to hurt the average just a little bit. Let's see, he's going to lose 7 yards lost on the play. Hey, you know, Round Valley's going to win this game, 2:42 remaining. So we can start talking about the Sports Zone's Player of the Game. That is not off the table. I mean, Cage Finch has got to be right at the top of the list of guys to consider.
He's had a very strong second half.
Second and 17 right now. Brody Crick's had a strong game. He'll cross the 15 this one, or they'll mark him right at the 15. So gain of about 3 on the play for Crick. And let's see, some other guys out there that have merited some consideration. Well, J.J. Logan was the player of the first half for sure.
Yep, I was going to throw his name. He's probably my vote, but I mean, Cage Finch has had a good second half.
And then how about the guys up front, the guys in the middle? You know, there's a couple of guys up there that you got to mention. You got to talk about Tyler Williams, I think, a little bit. You got to talk about Joe Brown in this one. Brennan Brown. Low snap. And Brody Crick is snagged up at about the 14-yard line, gain of 1 on the play.
Difficulty handling that snap with Cage Finch, and that caused the delayed handoff and allowed Payson to get into the backfield and blow that play up before it had a chance to do anything.
So 1:19 remaining. Before the clock does expire, we will announce the Sports Zone's players of the game, if we have more than one, or the player of the game. And White Mountain Regional Medical Center will help us present that in our postgame. And I go back to an earlier question for you, Trey, which is about the Friday Night Football Show Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. And see you, Coach. The Hall of Fame. Let's see here. Sorry about the mistake on the names. Rathan Reisdorf has been elected. Rhett Reisdorf hasn't, but boy, I tell you, he put up some prolific numbers as a quarterback playing. And you think that he's a guy that we should consider? Okay, all right, we can consider that for sure.
Especially like for quarterbacks from my time, I think that he's the most deserving.
Okay, how about anybody else? Do you remember anybody from Round Valley? Anybody from?
So we didn't get to play Round Valley that year. Blue Ridge was going through a really tough time that year. I have another guy from my team, another one of those guys that, I mean, I have never seen anybody work harder than him. That's going to go to Leon LaGrange. He was a utility knife. He was a running back for us. He was a guard, a tackle, inside linebacker.
Yeah, Leon LaGrange. As this one goes incomplete to Cochran. It's broken up right there. Defensively on the spot was Braddock Flaherty. Make the play for Payson, and Round Valley will turn it over on downs. Leon LaGrange. Well, I think we've got to take that under advisement.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that humbly just showed up. He knew what his role was on the team, and that was especially a defensive captain. And he was one of the few guys that he would call me out on my stuff. You know, when I read into headlines a little too much, he brought me back down to the ground.
Like, Trey, stop throwing terrible passes.
Hey, Trey, why don't you throw a 5-yard out instead of a 70-yard incompletion?
Okay, that also might help. Incomplete for the Longhorns. Stops the clock with 1:10 remaining in regulation. Round Valley on the way to their first 3A Mountain Region victory of the season. That'll even them up at 1-1 in the region. And Payson will drop to 2-1. And for the moment, then the lead in the region is going to belong to the Show Low Cougars, 2-0 in the region. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets are 1-0 in the region, so a half-game lead technically. Yep. But you look at the loss column, so you could say, Blue Ridge would say, hey, listen, we're tied, okay? So we don't have a loss either. And I will not argue with that if that's the claim. This one broken up on that right side. Good defensive play. Coming in aggressively, Rome Jeans, a sophomore. I like that name, Jeans. Like jeans, Jeans.
Yeah, denim jeans.
I like it, man.
Well, and I like how he spells his first name. It's not like Rome, you know, the place, but it's R-H-O-M-E. And I thought he had that pick.
It's like a Rahome.
Yeah, Rahome.
You know what I'm saying? So big moment. You got a lot of youngsters out there on that defense now for Round Valley. And it's Nolan Keeney to try and see if he can do something. I'm going to hand it off. Nathan Sosi spinning out of one tackle, and he is going to be right at the line again. I think he's going to get that first down. The chain gang is already, well, the trailing chain gang guy, he's moving already.
Great hit. Oh, sorry.
It looks like it's just shy. So we'll say 9 yards to pick up and about 1.5 feet to go.
Number 76, Davin Gillespie with that tackle. Big man. He's out here playing outside linebacker here on the left-hand side. You see him right above the scoreboard on your screen.
He's giant, isn't he?
He's a tall kid.
And that's tipped, incomplete. Throw it in the middle on 4th down. Only needed 1.5 yards, but Payson was more interested in seeing if they could turn this into a big gainer and try to do something to close out the game. It's incomplete. And on downs, the last gasp for Payson. Round Valley will kneel on it, and they will grab themselves a region victory over a previously unbeaten foe. The Payson Longhorns will drop after this one to 5-1. And it will also be 5-1 for Round Valley. And we are going to announce the Sports Zone's players of the game. The players of the game in this one here today. Quarterback Case Finch. Or Cage Finch, not Kaysen, sorry. Yeah, that's his younger brother, right?
The cousin.
The backup quarterback. And Cage will pick up your player of the game honors. So will J.J. Logan. J.J. Logan going to get some player of the game love as well in this one. And the Sports Zone's player of the game is brought to you by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. Teams will shake it up and then head off. We will head off to our post-game wrap-up in just a few moments. Congratulations to Round Valley. Look at statistics as well in our post-game coming up. So don't go anywhere. Back to wrap things up from Todd Workman Dome in Round Valley, the Sports Zone Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota.
The all-new 2025 Toyota Tacoma is here at Hatch Toyota, and it's tougher, smarter, and bolder than ever. It's built to handle Arizona's wildest terrain. Drive one home for as low as $269 a month. Plus, it's deal or better deal. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then take your shot at bonus savings with 15 mystery briefcases. Each holds a hidden discount from $300 to $3,000. Only at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
At the Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort.
When exactness is ordered, Hatch Concrete will deliver. We provide ready-mix concrete for any size job, from the do-it-yourself project to the professional construction project, delivering a variety of aggregate to suit your concrete or construction needs from granite to cinders. Hatch Concrete is not just another ready-mix concrete company. We provide quality service, quality concrete, concrete pumping, and Fox blocks where quality is not just a name, but a tradition. At Hatch Concrete, this mud's for you.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
At the Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
In years past, when you needed expert medical care, you may have overlooked one credible local healthcare provider. White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic is your destination for specialized care, orthopedics, podiatry, behavioral health, and advanced interventional pain management. And it's all closer than you think. Located in Springerville, White Mountain Regional Medical Center is your healthcare partner when choices matter.
Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Show Low, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
The gridiron is where teams come to battle and dominate. With over 5 decades of knowledge and expertise, manpower, and a whole lot of horsepower, Perkins Cinders is that all-star teammate you need to dominate your project. They deliver all things dirt, from gravel, cinders, topsoil mulch, concrete materials, and more. Want to score big? Use the one that will get you that win. Perkins Cinders is helping you get a load of this.
Imagine watching your favorite team without a comfy couch to leap from when your team scores that winning touchdown, or a table for all of your favorite game time snacks, or even a media center to display your TV. Unthinkable. The Furniture Gallery, located in Snowflake, brings only the best to make your game time experience a winner. The Furniture Gallery will help make your house into a home, and they'll do whatever it takes to make you a customer for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
Hey, welcome back in, everybody, to the Todd Workman Dome, formerly known as the N-Sphere, Okay, now we have people, who knows, are the uneducated, who knows what.
Well, I will say, looking at your computer right here, we do have the Merriam-Webster telling us the definition of an N-Sphere.
Yeah.
But it might be the only one, and that's why we have it here.
Yeah. So what is an N-Sphere, people? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's a dome. It's like the artist previously known as Prince or whatever, the artist formerly known as. That's what this is. It's the dome formerly known as the N-Sphere, which is now the Todd Workman Dome.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think it's very fair. I think everything I say is fair, by the way. The final score here in this one, victory for the Round Valley Elks, 30-6. They take down the Payson Longhorns. Well, I don't know. Payson, they've got some work to do. And, Trey, we got a real good, I think, sampling of this Round Valley team. They just know how to game plan. That's one of their strengths, and they certainly had a game plan that came together well against the Payson Longhorns. It feels like Payson was trying to take advantage of a size disparity that certainly favored them, and it didn't quite work out that way. Round Valley, faster, quicker. They were getting to the point of attack off the offensive, off the snap on offense. They, routinely you may given lanes for their running backs to gash that Payson defense. We're going to look at the stats here in a moment, which are going to give us a good indication of just how successful they were in doing that. But if you're Round Valley, obviously you come out of this one with renewed confidence. If you're Payson, you go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, their plays a lot of their plays, looking back at these highlights as you're seeing on your screen, too many things took too long to develop. And the things that didn't take too long to develop, they were sloppy. They got called for a lot of penalties, which really hurt down the stretch because they would start to mount something that looked like a good drive, and then they would get called for a hold and get called back 10 yards. And in high school, especially when you don't have a Patrick Mahomes, you don't have a Lamar Jackson, it's hard to overcome 1st and 20.
If you were to ask almost anybody, if Round Valley could have 2 100-yard rushers against the Payson defense, I don't think many people would have said that was going to happen, but it did. It happened tonight. This Payson Longhorns defense could not find a way to shut down Cage Finch. 15 carries for 107 yards, so he averaged 7.1 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. Brody Crick, 25 carries for 110 yards. Didn't find the end zone today, didn't have to find it because his teammates were there to pick him up. By the way, Round Valley totaling 394 yards of offense in this, 21 first downs, 32 minutes and 27 seconds time of possession in this one for the Round Valley Elks. We congratulate them on a huge, huge victory, and we thank you all for joining us for the Sports Zone's Game of the Week, everybody. And we got a chance to talk to one of the heroes tonight, so let's do that right here, right now. Hey, welcome in, everybody, to our broadcast coverage of the Sports Zone Game of the Week. It's presented by Hatch Toyota, and a rare Saturday night game for us. It happens to be here at the Todd Workman Dome, and the Round Valley Elks taking care of business, a 30-6 victory over the Payson Longhorns, the previously undefeated Longhorns. And for Round Valley, a chance to get back on the winning ways after that loss last week at Blue Ridge. Let's talk to one of the Sports Zone's players of the game, and that's brought your way by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. It's the quarterback, Cage Finch, joining us now. Cage, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Cage, man, I tell you, you had a game tonight, sir. 3 touchdowns, 107 yards rushing, and your team just ran the ball absolutely fantastic against Payson's defense. What would you say was what led to all the success on the ground for you guys?
You know, we came into this game and we had to get back on track. You know, tough loss last week, but we responded and we put it on our line. We put it on our most important guys, and they showed out when it mattered most. It's all up to them. They won us this game.
Well, that's a great comment. You're never going to go wrong when you call your offensive line the most important guys. How much work went into this one this week? Let's talk about preparation. Let's talk about film. Talk about the work your guys did to get ready for Payson.
Yeah, from Saturday last week, we had film posted, and we knew that this was going to be one of our hardest games this season. You know, big game, Saturday game, extra day to get ready, come off a hard loss. It was going to be a big one. Previously undefeated, not anymore. But, you know, we played hard in practice. You know, we came out with that fire that we didn't have before, so we just took it to them.
Awesome. So, Cage, I was a quarterback in high school. I like to think of myself as mobile. I'm definitely not as mobile as you were. But in the second half, you had 102 of your 107 rushing yards. And you mentioned your line as those guys. You put it on them. But how much of that was you in the locker room? Did your coaches come to you and say, Cage, you're going to have to use your legs a little more in the second half?
Yeah, they said take the layups. You know, I was looking for the long bomb on some of those, trying to make a big play when I sometimes I need to tuck in a run. So I took that into consideration, and it worked well. Started faking them out, you know, faking away, and then me pulling it, and it worked really well.
Let's ask you about those 2 guys that join you in the backfield, and they both had great games for you tonight. First of all, Brody Finch. Brody rushed for 110 yards. You guys gave him 25 carries tonight. I tell you, he had a workout. But Jackson Finch, the freshman, 69 yards rushing for him between you 3 guys. Well, what a night. But how about the 2 Cricks?
Oh, yeah, dude. Brothers playing together, how does it get better than that? We got a tough runner, we got the speedy runner. It's awesome to see those 2 go at it. It's fun.
What's the dynamic between them? Is there a little bit of brother chippiness? Do they kind of get into each other a little bit?
Yeah, it's love, and then you get the brother side, you know. You're running scared, you're not running hard enough, you know, just fighting against each other, but it's all good.
I bet the coaches love having that, don't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, they do. They love it.
They love having when somebody on the team, does the motivating for you. They don't have to do it all the time. That's got to be good. That's got to be good. Well, listen, you guys got a great win. You really deserved it, and a great bounce back. You like where your team is right now. You're getting guys back. Injured guys are starting to make. Jeffrey's out there. He made 2 great catches for you. Are you guys? You like where you're at?
Oh yeah, we're getting a bye. We get healthy right as we're getting into the last really good game of our schedule. So we're gonna take this week and we're gonna rest up and we'll come full strength against Sholo.
Tremendous work out there, Cage. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Cage Finch is the Sports Zone's player of the game, along with his teammate that joins us in a moment, J.J. Logan. It's presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. Look at the work done there by Payson, but they didn't have too many of those highlights. They didn't have a big night. The guys on the other side, the guys in the black and yellow, as the song says.
Yeah.
He got the work done tonight, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Fantastic job by Round Valley. On defense, they were flying around, and that caused that wreaked a lot of havoc for Payson.
Let's continue our postgame wrap-up and speak to one of the guys that Cage Finch a moment ago called the most important guys on the team, and that's these guys in the trenches, the linemen. And we bring on Round Valley's Brendan Brown joining us now. Brendan, a senior with this team, and had a great game. Brendan, congratulations to you and the Round Valley Elks on the big win tonight.
Thank you, man.
Final score 30-6, and there's a good look at that young man. How tall are you, Brendan?
6'5".
6'5". Smooth, buddy. Listen, you impressed me before the game even started. I don't know if you remember this moment, but you guys are out there warming up, and then you're running off the field to go to the locker room, I guess, for a last time, get a last word in, and get ready for the ball game. And you came off the field, and you were kind of running and skipping. And do you remember that kind of before the game?
I do.
And I looked at you, and the first thing I thought was, well, that's a little weird. And then the second thing I thought was, you are really athletic for a lineman. My goodness, dude. I mean, and is that – I mean, we know these Round Valley guys are not going to be all that big on the line, and athleticism has to be a big deal. But is that kind of the way you guys are in the trenches, real athletes playing in there?
Yes, sir. I think we have one of the fastest lines in the state. We all are gym rats. We get in there all that we can, and I think that really helps us out in games.
Those guys on the other side, there's a lot of beef on that Payson offensive line, and they had some good athletes on the defensive line. But talk about the success you guys were having and what you guys were doing to get the job done tonight.
Comes down to heart, comes down to grit, who wants it more, and we wanted it bad. And if we play that way, I know we put in the work that we can win.
Awesome. So, Brennan, as a lineman, right, you don't always get the glory. You don't always get your name called. Definitely not as much as you guys should, because you guys do the hardest work of any football player. But one thing that I love watching is on the offensive line, you guys are the ones that a lot of times can ignite a run game. What is your mentality when your coach calls into your quarterback, your bread and butter run play, the thing that you guys practice the most? What's your mentality when you break that huddle and walk towards the line of scrimmage?
We actually talked about that a lot this week. Our mentality is drive them through the end zone. Never stop driving. Even when you think the play is dead, just give it your all.
When you see those running backs run by you, right, you open a hole and boom, the guy zips by you. What's that feeling like?
Greatest feeling in the world, because we did our job so well that they can do theirs well. And it just all works out.
Greatest feeling in the world, okay? Spoken like a true lineman.
I love it. I think you would like to get the ball, right? Pick up a ball and go run it for a touchdown.
I think the biggest stat for the O-line is wins and losses, and that's what matters.
Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy.
That's a professional down there.
Man, I'm telling you, that's a great comment. You wouldn't know what to do with yourself if you picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown anyway, would you?
I'd fall over as soon as I get it.
You guys did a great job. A lot to be proud of. Let's mention those other guys, your teammates in the trenches. Give them some love, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mention them. Talk about your
Brody
teammates.
Calipolo. Been putting in the work with me from the beginning, motivating me in the gym. We're always pushing ourselves to be better. Cooper Bingham, young guy, only a sophomore. I know he wants it bad, and I think that'll work well. Ty Williams and Joe Brown. Joe Brown, of course, amazing player. Flying through with a broken hand, still gets the job done. And Ty Williams, one of the strongest kids I know.
That is awesome, dude. That is awesome. Hey, last thing before you go, and I know Derek's shoulder's getting tired right there holding that camera shot, but I wanted to ask you about the intelligence of the guys in the trenches, because if you look at the NFL, the smartest guys, according to the Wonderlic test they all take in the NFL Combine, smartest guys by position on the field are offensive tackles. Second smartest guys are centers before you even get to quarterbacks, who are the third smartest, and then guards are the fourth smartest. So how smart is your offensive line? Because you sound like you might have some intelligence there.
We definitely have some intelligence, and I think a lot of it's not just intelligence, but preparing beforehand, watching your film, knowing what the team's going to do before you even see them.
He sounds smart, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Great job. Congratulations. Go enjoy the win, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, I will.
What a stud, man.
Fantastic. And just eloquent.
Absolutely. He's an offensive lineman, okay? They're smart. They know how to put a sentence together. They probably did their book reports. These guys know what they're doing.
These are the guys that they don't walk into the class relying on, teacher, I'm the quarterback. You got to pass me, otherwise I can't play this week. They don't rely on that.
By the way, according to the Wonderlic test, who do you think, by position on the football field, who do you think are the least smart guys, the dumbest guys?
Oh,
what position?
Good thing I didn't take that test. I'm going to – oh, man, that's tough. I want to say, like, linebackers, because just, CTE, those guys are taking shots all game long.
You're in the right thought process.
Okay.
Not linebacker.
Running back.
Jeez. Dumbest guys on the field. That's according to the test.
I don't want to say anything. Yeah, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
I know a lot of good running backs.
Sure.
But maybe that does stand true just a little bit.
Maybe you need to just be a little bit dumb to be able to just take that punishment all day, to take the rock and tote the rock.
So, yeah,
and run the ball all day. I don't know.
Someone who does their book reports certainly goes, after a while, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah.
So I think that does have that speaks a lot.
Wait, it's been a long time since I've done a book report.
I have one due right now. I'm writing 10 pages.
Yeah. Good for you. A master's degree, right?
Yep.
I got a smart guy here in the booth with me as well to kind of bring the game IQ up a little bit during the broadcast. I appreciate that. We're waiting for our third and final guest to join us here in a post-game wrap-up. One of our Sports Zone players of the game, J.J. Logan, is yet to report, but we'll get him. He had a great first half, didn't he? He caught that touchdown. And that was a fourth down conversion, put the first touchdown points on the board for Round Valley. And then on the ensuing Payson possession, immediately an interception by J.J. Logan. Big moments for the team.
Oh, yeah, huge. And I think that his contributions there in the first half is what gave motivation to this Round Valley team, the coaches, and ultimately the fans in the stands. It really lit them up and got them going.
Agreed. While we wait for JJ, let's look at some stats from the game. Round Valley had 32 minutes and 27 seconds time of possession, and 21 total first downs in this one. 395 yards of offense for Round Valley, 286 yards rushing, and 180 yards through the air in this one today. They were sacked one time, penalized. We have just one penalty for 10 yards. Assist against Round Valley. Can that be real? Man, that is... What a night. What a clean game played by the Round Valley Elks in this one against Payson. They fumbled once but did not lose that and did not throw the ball, turn the ball over in any other way. Okay, so again, clean, no penalties, no turnovers. No penalties, the one that we have registered. Cage Finch was 7 of 17. You know, they'd like to improve that number a little bit. 108 yards passing for Cage and a touchdown for him. His leading receiver in this one was Jeffrey Cochran, back from injury. 2 catches for Jeffrey for 37 yards. J.J. Logan caught 2 passes for 27 yards, including a touchdown. Also 16 yards receiving for Brody Crick on 1 catch. Lane Hill, 1 catch for 15. Brenton Walker, 1 snag for 13 yards. Running the football, Cage Finch was, him and his teammate in the backfield, Brody Crick, they were both over 100 yards. Brody had 110 yards on 25 carries. Cage Finch, 107 yards on 15 touches. Jackson Crick, 13 carries for 69 yards. What a running game for Round Valley here in this one tonight. Well, one of our Sports Zone players of the game, which is presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center, he joins us now after a Round Valley 30-6 win over Payson. Joining us now is J.J. Logan. J.J., congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
JJ, you owned that first half, and you made 2 back-to-back huge plays. That 4th down conversion touchdown catch that you made in the end zone. Battle, fight for it, catch that touchdown, and then come back with the interception shortly after. Tell us about those 2 moments and kind of the thrill of catching that touchdown and then taking one away.
On the touchdown, I was just running, and then I see the ball go up, and I was like, holy crap. So I went, got it. After I caught it, I just couldn't stop smiling because I was like, I don't know how I caught that. It was pretty crazy, though.
Well done, well done. And then you come back on the next Payson possession, and you're back there patrolling center field, making a great interception there. Tell us about that.
I was just dropping back, and I was looking, and it almost felt like the same exact play. Like it felt like it was thrown straight to me. So I was just running back and caught it.
You'll take it, right? You'll take it. Listen, JJ, you've been playing well. Your team, trying to fight back from these injuries and stay in the chase. What does it mean after the loss last week? What does it mean to get a win and do it against a team like Payson that everybody in the state has high expectations of and a lot of respect for them, and you guys take them down here at the Dome? What does it mean?
It means everything because it feels like everyone hyped up Payson and didn't think we were going to win, so we felt like the underdog. So we just felt like we had something to prove, especially after losing last week. It just give us that much more motivation, so we knew that we had to win this game.
That's awesome. So I want to go back to those 2 plays, right? You have that nice touchdown catch here in the end zone. You have the interception right here. How do you as a player stay grounded in the moment, right? You have 2 big plays. You guys take a big lead there. How is it that you keep yourself focused on the task at hand? Because I feel like for me, if I was able to patrol and get an interception like that, I'd be like, this is it. I've made it. I'm the man. How do you stay grounded in that moment?
It's actually funny because after halftime, I came back and I was just telling myself to stay humble, not get all up in my head like I'm some crazy kid. I just try to stay humble and just play the game how it's supposed to be.
JJ, before we let you go, just kind of speak to the overall kind of approach of this team. Maybe is there a mission statement? Is there something? Do you guys have a slogan for the year? And what are those conversations like with the coaches, with the teammates, the kind of stuff as you prepare for a week of football?
We just like to go out here and just, as we call it, play Round Valley football, and we love to have fun. We love to make practice fun, make games fun. We like to joke around, just keep it calm and keep it cool. Just do what we do.
Well, you get those guys healthy that have been on the sidelines with the injuries, and this is going to be a formidable team. You guys have you must feel like your upside and your potential this year is huge, right?
I agree.
Yeah. This is an Elks team that could go a long way. Hey, congratulations, JJ. Appreciate your time, and we invite you to enjoy the game, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy the win. All right, JJ Logan right there, one of the Sports Zone's players of the game. It's presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. And there was a lot of joy on that young man's face right there.
He did not stop smiling that entire time.
It's big. Well, the Sports Zone can have that effect.
I can attest to that.
Look at you.
I can attest to that, especially as a player. When you get recognized for your efforts, you love that. You love the fact because, during the week, you grind it out. You get the win. And for someone like me, I was a quarterback, and your name's going to get called every play. But when you have someone who isn't a fan, someone who isn't a coach that recognizes you, that's a great feeling.
You picked up the player of the game a couple of times playing basketball, right?
Playing basketball.
The Sports Zone player of the game. Now let me ask you, what would be more nerve-wracking, okay? As a senior, junior in high school, doing the Sports Zone's post-game interview, or you're standing at the line, it's the region championship game, there's 2 seconds on the clock, you're down by 1, and you got 2 free throws. Which one is more nerve-wracking?
For me, for sure, I'm going to go with post-game interview because you don't want to say the wrong thing. I remember those times that you would interview me. Sometimes I felt like you were asking me a question that was almost leading me to try to talk about my opponent in a way that maybe – I don't think you were trying to get me to talk bad about them, but as a teenage kid, when you get led to that kind of question, you think like, oh, he wants me to trash talk him, and you try so hard not to do so. And that was always so nerve-wracking.
Did I say anything like, hey, Trey, tell me why your opponent was so terrible today?
No.
Anything like that? Was that my question? Because shame on me if it was.
No, not at all. But I will say, I can go back and watch film of myself playing basketball. I really struggle going back and watching those interviews because I've come a long way, I feel like, in terms of how I can speak, because it wasn't good then.
I hear you. Hey, listen, let's take a look at the Payson Longhorn numbers for this one. And I just have to say this. I got to say that Brian Burke, a Brian Burke coached football team, is going to return from this one today. Obviously, big-time disappointment. They're going to go back and they're going to diagnose some things. I'm sure they're going to look long and hard at the film for as long as they might want to. They're going to get this one behind them quickly as well if they certainly can, and they'll bounce back. Payson's got a lot of talent. That's a good football team and well coached. Just not their night tonight for sure at the Dome. But you know what, Round Valley at the Dome, they do this to a lot of good football teams. It's just so tough to beat Round Valley in this end sphere.
The end sphere.
The end sphere, yeah.
Maybe that's why it's tough. You got to pronounce that.
Yeah, the Todd Workman Dome. But Payson's numbers on the night here. Time of possession for them, 15 minutes and 33 seconds. So Round Valley really dominated the time of possession. First downs total for Payson. That offense could not get in gear. 5 first downs, 231 yards of total offense. That included a couple of big plays in the passing game. They ran a total of 33 plays, averaging 7 yards per offensive effort. 64 yards rushing, 164 yards throwing the football today on 10 out of 18 completions as a team. They were sacked 3 times in the game. Didn't lose a lot of yardage on the sacks, but every sack does come seemingly in a situation where you've got to try to convert. So that obviously hurt them a lot. 3 sacked, 2 interceptions thrown, penalized 8 times for 64 yards. And a total of 2 turnovers in the game. Neither team lost a fumble in this one here tonight. The quarterback, Nolan Keeney, was 10 of 18 for 167 yards, threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Leading receiver for Payson in this one today. Well, they had a couple of guys with 58 yards receiving. Bert Schur caught 2 passes for 58, including a touchdown. Carter Kelton caught 1 pass for 58 yards, and that was that final play of the first half for him. Nathan Sosi, 4 catches for 27 yards. Xavier Robinson, 1 catch for 20. Marco Jaricki, 2 catches for 4 yards. Today, running the football, Nathan Sosi, 8 rushes for 62 yards, averaging 7.8 yards a carry. Quarterback Nolan Keeney, 6 rushes for 5 yards. And Johnny McInerney handled the ball 1 time, lost 3 yards on that one. It was a big victory for the Round Valley Elks. Final score 30-6. Well, Trey, that's going to do it on this one tonight. But you know, we've seen Round Valley, we've seen Payson, we've seen Blue Ridge, we've seen Sholo. Those are the 4 contenders here in the 3A Mountain region. Does anybody stand out yet in your mind as an odds-on favorite, or are you like me, which is to say, I can't pick a team in that bunch? I just don't know who that I would hang the title on of team to beat in the region, because I think any one of those teams still has a great chance to win it.
I would never put money down on any of these teams, but if you're forcing me to answer this question, and I'm going to go with Round Valley. I think that across the board they have the most depth. They have extreme athleticism. Sholo is right there. Blue Ridge, I mean, they proved it last week that they can hang with a Round Valley team. They beat them, and so you look at these teams. Anyone can do it. I'm not going to be surprised if any one of these teams takes it. But if I had to walk away with one team, if I had to ride it out with one team, I'm going to go with Round Valley.
If Jeffrey Cochran can get back to 100%, if Trenton Trickey can get somewhere close to that, and those guys coming off injuries have another couple of weeks now with a bye coming up next week, they can rest, they can recuperate, they can try to get better. If they do indeed get their guys back in from the injured list, watch out.
Yeah.
Because Round Valley is going to be a force in the mountain region and a force in the state of Arizona. Now, the team to beat in the state, that's Benjamin Franklin.
Yep.
Ben Franklin, wow. Saw them a couple of nights ago. They look terrific. They absolutely dismantled Valley Christian. 35-6 was the final score in a victory for Ben Franklin. They remain undefeated, and it's going to be tough for anybody to stay on the field for 4 full quarters with Ben Franklin. You got to bring your best game against that team right there. Push Ridge lost last night. They lost to Thatcher. So don't discount them, by the way, because Push Ridge in their last 2 state championships, to me, I never thought they were going to win those anyway. I thought there were 2, 3, 4 teams better than them every time they've won a title. And so you can't count them out, because they just always seem to find a way to be great when the playoffs roll around. So with the Push Ridge loss, all that does, I think, is that just takes them off people's radar screen, and you're going to look past them a little bit if you're not careful. So you got that Thatcher. Well, the Thatcher Eagles are the Thatcher Eagles. They're tough. They're hard-nosed. They're going to have some size. And guess what? They beat the defending champions last night. So Thatcher all of a sudden enters the picture. But the team to pay attention to, the team to be looking out for out there. Benjamin Franklin, the Chargers looking good. That's going to wrap it up, everybody, and I want to thank our entire team led by our producer, Derek Simmons, our technical director tonight. That's been Noah Anderson. On camera for us, Big Sean Ubestad, and doing our scoreboard tonight was Rochelle Austin. She did a great job. Thank you to our statistician, the very lovely Sonia Simmons. And for this guy right here in the booth with me, for our my broadcast partner, for Trey Schneider, Floyd Simmons right here saying a big thank you, folks. Thank you for joining us. This broadcast of the Sports Zone Game of the Week has been brought to you by Hatch Toyota and a whole slew of outstanding production partners of ours, marketing partners. Thank you to everybody on that. And we'll see you again next Friday night. We'll be at Payson, by the way. Payson taking on Blue Ridge. We'll have that broadcast coverage for you here on the Sports Zone's Game of the Week. Until then, God bless you, everybody, and we'll see you. We'll see you next time on the Game of the Week. And good night, everybody, from the Round Valley Dome.